Chapter 1. In the year 734 of the AIG era, a hungry baby suddenly appeared in front of the door of a small house on Baizai Mountain on Earth. The baby wiped his eyes with his little hands and shouted, "Sleep, wake up, wake up." After a night of hard work yesterday, his rank was successfully lowered from King to Star 5. Wow, oh ha oh ha. The baby was startled. He wondered where the crying baby came from in the dormitory building. He tried to get up but found his hands and feet were weak and he even had difficulty turning over. In addition, he can also feel that a certain feature below is soft. Oh my god, my pee is so strong, it turns out that staying up all night will really make it weak. I opened my eyes and found that it was a little dark around me. Did I sleep until night again? A pair of footsteps approached him, then someone picked him up and walked into the house. Under the light, he discovered his baby's little hand. It turns out that my brother has become a baby again. Who is this old man with a white beard in front of me? Is he my grandfather? He was so hungry that he started crying again without realizing it. Wow oh ha. No, I don't want to cry, why can't I control it, whose child is this? He looks starving. I'll go into the mountains to see if there's any animal milk. After crying for a while, the baby felt tired and fell asleep. After a while, the old man appeared in front of him with a bottle of hot animal milk. Baby, no, I'm not a baby, I don't want to drink milk. The old man gently put the pacifier into the baby's mouth. The baby was a little arrogant and said, "Well, I won't drink milk if I want to eat." The next moment, it seemed to taste quite good. Gudong gudong, the bottle of animal milk was quickly finished, and the baby yawned and fell asleep. In the following days, the old man asked around if anyone had lost a baby, but to no avail. Finally, the old man decided to adopt the baby. The old man looked at the sleeping baby in his arms, with a kind and gentle smile on his wrinkled old face. "Child, from today on, you are my son Gohan's grandson, and from now on you will be called Wei Yuan, son Wei Yuan. In fact, let alone the baby who has fallen asleep, even if he is still awake, you can't understand what he says, unless the old man can speak Mandarin." As the days passed, son Wei Yuan just ate when he was full and slept when he woke up. He could sleep 18 to 20 hours out of 24 hours a day. Even though he had turned into a baby, son Wei Yuan felt that his life was pretty good. Apart from the unacceptable fact that he wet his pants every day, everything else felt fine. 3 years passed in a flash, and son Wei Yuan slowly learned the language of this world. He remembered that one time when a dinosaur suddenly appeared outside the house, he was stunned on the spot. Fortunately, Grandpa came back in time, otherwise son Wei Yuan would have thought that he had been swallowed by the dinosaur as a snack. After that, he didn't dare to stay at home alone, and he would follow his grandfather wherever he went. His grandfather was also frightened when he thought of the accident that day, and he would put son Wei Yuan in a basket every time he went into the mountains. There are even dinosaurs. What kind of world is this? And, such a huge dinosaur was actually knocked down by Grandpa with just one move. It's incredible. Did I travel to a world of cultivation, and my grandfather is a hidden boss in that world? By the way, Grandpa seems to be called Son Gohan. Is he the Son Gohan I imagined? Well, the one that was picked up and adopted by Son Gohan in Dragon Ball was Son Goku, and the one that my grandfather adopted was me, Son Goiwan. So it's still hard to be sure. Son Wei Yuan's little brows were sometimes frowned and sometimes relaxed, and suddenly a deafening sound rang out. Bang! The lingering sound echoed for a long time. Son Wei Yuan, who was thinking about his life, was startled by the sudden loud noise and asked hurriedly, "Grandpa, what happened?" "It seems like a ball fell from the sky and hit the mountain over there." "Wei Yuan, hold on tight. Grandpa will go over to see what's going on." Son Gohan quickly stood up from the backpack and put his hands tightly around his grandfather's neck, and began to move quickly through the dense forest. Soon they arrived at the place where the ball had impacted. After seeing the true appearance of the ball, son Wei Yuan's heart suddenly jumped. Damn, it really is the Dragon Ball world. So he decided to make a final struggle. "Grandpa, how many years is it now?" July 23, 737 AI, Wei Yuan, why do you think of asking this? Hey? Grandpa, my birthday seems to be coming soon, /. Son Wei Yuan blinked his bright big eyes, with a look of innocence and anticipation. "Grandpa, there seems to be something inside that ball." "Really? Be good, Wei Yuan. Wait for Grandpa here." I'll go down and take a look. Sun Weiyuan nodded. Except for the fact that he was a little uncomfortable with being treated like a child in the beginning, he gradually got used to it after 3 years. Nowadays, everyone is still a child in front of the elders at home. As long as I am not embarrassed, the ones who will be embarrassed are the handsome readers. Sun Gohan jumped into the deep pit created by the ball and actually took out a crying child from it. I opened my eyes wide and looked behind the child's butt. Wow, there really was a monkey's tail. He was 100% sure that it was the Earth in the Dragon Ball world, and his grandfather was the old Son Gohan who was trampled to death by Son Goku when he turned into a gorilla, and his appearance was an accident. Sun Weiyuan thought about the repeated explosions on Earth in the future and the various ways that the people on Earth would die. Oh my god, it's too dangerous. What about him? He is just an ordinary Earthling, whose combat power may only be 5% when he grows up. He suddenly felt a little dejected. Do I really have to be killed again and again like the other people on Earth, and be resurrected by the 7 Dragon Balls again and again? Sun Weiyuan felt that he could still save the situation. Wasn't Son Goku, who had the aura of a protagonist, right beside him? According to the theory of seniority, he should call him Big Brother. Maybe he can invest in advance to improve Son Goku's fighting ability. When the enemy appears, he only needs to shout, "Close the door and let me go. Good brother, beat him up." Besides, he also needs to practice with his grandfather. Even if he doesn't become invincible in the universe, he must at least be the strongest person on Earth. That's not too much, right? He thought about it carefully. He had to get hold of the senzu beans in advance because they were such a bug. He couldn't let that fat swordsman Yajiro ruin him. He also had to get instant transmission. If he found something was wrong, he could retreat strategically. Seeing his grandfather carrying the unnamed Son Goku out of the pit, Son Goku showed a surprised expression and said, "Grandpa, look, his butt is so weird, it has a monkey tail." Son Gohan said with a smile, "Maybe he really is a big monkey. There are animal people on our Earth who look different from us." "Really, Grandpa? Why haven't we seen it on Baizai Mountain?" "Of course it's true. Our Baizai Mountain is located in a remote area, so it's normal that we haven't seen any animal people. Grandpa, we want to adopt him." Chapter 2. Grandpa, should we take him in? Doesn't Weiyuan want to have a younger brother? Think. Well, from now on he's your brother, just call him Goku. As expected, Sun Weiyuan thought to himself, but before he could think about it, his grandfather put him in a backpack together with the newly born Son Goku. "Weiyuan, keep an eye on your brother. We will make something delicious right away." Okay. Sun Weiyuan answered obediently. At this time, Son Goku had not yet lost his memory, and still had Sion's innate hot temper. He was very restless in the backpack and kept trying to climb out by grabbing the edge of the backpack. Sun Goiwan promised to look after his brother, so he naturally couldn't let Son Goku crawl out. He directly carried Son Goku down from the edge of the basket and put Son Goku back to the bottom of the basket. But just like that, Son Goku got angry, grabbed his hand and pulled it hard. Hiss, it hurts, such a strong force. If Sun Weiyuan remembered correctly, Son Goku's combat power at this time was 2, while the combat power of an adult on Earth was 5. He was only 3 years old now, let alone 5, he couldn't even reach a combat power of 1, so how could he be Son Goku's opponent? I had no choice but to keep coaxing Son Goku, but he didn't listen at all and hit me harder and harder. Sun Weiyuan thought to himself, "Gao Fei, do you think I can still be bullied by you? Goku, you have to remember that age is always more important than experience. Your brother is your brother after all." He stretched out his hand and grasped Son Goku's tail tightly, only to see Son Goku suddenly lose all his strength and collapse limply in the backpack. After old Son Gohan heard Son Goku coaxing him like a little adult for a while, the backpack became quiet. He thought that his eldest grandson Goku was really sensible. He could coax his younger brother at the age of 3. When they were almost home, Son Goiwan loosened his hand that was holding Son Goku's tail. His hands were tired after holding it tightly for so long. He stood up from the backpack without looking at Son Goku who was lying there. Unexpectedly, after entering the house and before putting down the backpack, Sun Weiyuan felt a sharp pain in his buttocks. He turned his head and saw Son Goku holding his thighs tightly with his hands and biting his A with his mouth. "Ah, Grandpa! What's up, Goiwan?" Son Gohan said as he put down the backpack. "Grandpa, hurry up, Goku bit my A. He was startled when Son Gohan reached out to rip Son Goku off of him. No, if I pull his butt off directly, his face will probably be disfigured today. I must not let Grandpa do that. Grandpa, grab Goku's tail. Son Gohan didn't understand why he had to grab the tail, but he listened to Gon and grabbed Goku's tail. After Son Goku's tail was grabbed, his whole body slid off his body and fell to the ground limply. Son Goku quickly took off his pants to check his injuries. 2 rows of deep teeth marks were clearly visible, and he could see bruises and blood oozing out. He touched it and, hiss, it hurts. Goku is really unforgiving. According to the plot, he will lose his memory next year. I'm afraid he will suffer in the days ahead. Goku, you are so naughty, how could you bite your brother like this? Goku, are you okay? Sun Weiyuan reluctantly replied, Grandpa, I'm fine, but my butt is swollen. Do you have any medicine for me? Old Son Gohan was very satisfied with his adopted grandson. This kid was smart and sensible since he was young. Yes, I remember there was. Sun Weiyuan saw his grandfather go back to the house and search through the boxes and drawers to find a bottle of medicine. He lay down on the bed obediently. At night, Son Gohan and Goku woke them up many times. Old Son Gohan said with emotion, Goku was well behaved and easy to take care of when he was a child. Goku is just too noisy. When he woke up the next morning, Weiyuan saw Goku sleeping soundly, while his grandfather was already up and boxing. Grandpa, I also want to learn martial arts and become as strong as you. Son Gohan looked at him expectantly. You have to know that old Son Gohan is a disciple of Master Mutant, and his strength is also ranked among the best on Earth today. Ha ha ha, why does Goiwan want to become stronger? Son Gohan asked with a smile. I want to protect Grandpa and Goku, can you teach me martial arts? Of course, but Gohan, training is a very hard thing. Once you start, Grandpa will supervise you very strictly. You won't be able to sleep in the future. Have you really made up your mind? Son Gohan put away his smile and said to Son Gohan very seriously. After hearing that he couldn't sleep in, Sun Weiyuan hesitated. Sleeping in the warm bed was his biggest hobby now. But when he thought about the powerful enemies he would face in the future, he gritted his teeth and gave up this hobby. I've decided. I'm going to start practicing with Grandpa. Every morning after that, he would practice boxing with his grandfather for an hour, alternating between rock paper scissors and drunken boxing. After a month, he felt much better and his body was stronger. Another month later, Son Gohan asked if there were any more powerful boxing techniques. He remembered that in the script, Son Gohan had a total of 4 special skills, namely Drunken Fist, Rock Paper Scissors, After Image Fist and Kamehameha. Goiwan, you should practice step by step, don't aim too high. Grandpa also knows the After Image Fist and Kamehameha, but you can't learn them yet. When Sun Weiyuan heard that there were indeed After Image Fist and Kamehameha, his eyes lit up, so he coaxed his grandfather into giving him all the praises, making the old man very happy. Weiyuan, since you want to see it so much, I will show it to you once, but you must look carefully. First, he learned the After Image Fist. He watched with great interest, carefully observing his grandfather's steps, the way he exerted force, etc. When he saw Kamehameha, he couldn't help but follow his grandfather's movements and imitate him exactly. With a loud bang, a large tree not far away was blown off in half. What I saw on the screen was far less direct and shocking than what I saw with my own eyes. Then every morning, in addition to practicing rock paper scissors and drunken boxing, he also practices Kamehameha 10 times. Although he can't perform any moves, shouting a few times can help him relax a lot. One day after the 6th month, Sun Weiyuan discovered that he could absorb a tiny bit of energy from the air. Another month later, Sun Goiwan found that his strength had increased a lot. He competed with Goku in strength when his grandfather was not paying attention, and this time he could actually be on par with Goku. In other words, he at least has a combat power of 2. Although he is still a loser, at least he has seen the success of his cultivation improvement. In the 8th month, the date was March 738 AI, Sun Weiyuan was sure that what he absorbed from the air should be vital energy. He felt that his strength was much stronger than a month ago. The future was promising. Since there was no equipment to detect combat power, he was not sure what his combat power was exactly. At this time, he no longer had to stay in the backpack when he went into the mountains with his grandfather. Son Gohan also noticed his changes over the past 8 months and regarded Sun Weiyuan as a rare training genius. Chapter 3. While walking in the forest, Sun Weiyuan asked his grandfather, "What are we going to eat today?" "It's the tail of the wild dragon. See if you can find it first." "A wild dragon? That's the dinosaur that little Gohan chased and chopped off its tail in the original story." They collected some mushrooms on the way, and when passing a cliff, Son Goku suddenly climbed out of the backpack and fell off the cliff. Oh no, Son Goku's fate-changing fall happened, and the bad-tempered scion was gone forever. From then on, Son Goku now had a well-behaved younger brother and no longer had to worry about getting bitten on the butt. "Oh no, Gohan, you wait for Grandpa here." After saying this, old Son Gohan rushed to the bottom of the cliff anxiously and saw Son Goku hitting his head on a rock. The unconscious Son Goku was breathing weakly and there was a lot of blood flowing from his head. If he were an Earthling, he would definitely not be able to be saved. Old Gohan felt very guilty about this. When Sun Weiyuan saw Goku breathing very weakly, his heart also sank. Is Goku going to die? Probably not. In the plot, he almost died, but he still survived with Sion's abnormal physique and his own tenacious will. Old Son Gohan did a simple hemostasis, put Son Goiwan into the backpack, and ran back home quickly with Son Goku in his arms. "Grandpa, is Goku okay?" Old Son Gohan said with a worried look on his face. "We have done everything we can, the rest is up to God's will." Looking at the condition of Son Goku's injuries, he thought there was a great possibility that he wouldn't survive as his injuries were too severe. As a result, Son Goku survived tenaciously, and his personality changed drastically. He was no longer as violent and irritable as before. Son Goku was also dumbfounded. He thought he had behaved well, but after seeing Son Goku's performance, he felt ashamed of himself. When Goku was 2 years old, he started pestering him every day to practice martial arts together, and he naturally did not hesitate. Although the amount of energy his body can absorb every day is very limited, he has made great progress over a long period of time. The 2-year-old Son Goku is no match for him at all. But Son Goku's tenacity made him tired. He would pull him to spar as soon as he woke up in the morning, and would want to spar with him again after dinner. Throughout the day, except for eating, drinking, defecating, urinating and sleeping, Son Goku was either sparring or on his way to spar with Son Goiwan. Old Son Gohan found that Son Goku became lively and cheerful, well-behaved and sensible after recovering from his injuries. He was also happy to have his eldest grandson to take care of him. Sun Weiyuan also felt that his strength was enough to protect himself, so he didn't follow his grandfather every day. Goku follows him to the mountains to play like a little tail every day. When he sees Weiyuan easily defeating the dinosaur, he will happily shout, "Brother is so awesome!" Sun Weiyuan also told Goku early on that he should never look at the moon on the night of the full moon, otherwise a terrible monster would appear. Unexpectedly, Goku said excitedly, "That monster is very powerful, I really want to fight it." "Goku, you are no match for him." "Isn't my brother a match for it?" "Yeah, I can't beat it either. Although he is very strong now, it is still not 10 times as strong as Son Goku." "What about Grandpa?" Currently, Grandpa can beat Son Goku from Great Ape, but in order to warn him, Son Goku decided to tell a white lie. "Grandpa is no match for him either, so Goku, you must not secretly watch the moon when it is full. If you attract monsters, we 3 grandfathers and grandsons will probably be killed." Son Goku nodded in agreement, but when he saw the excitement and desire in his eyes, he really didn't know how much effect his words would have. "Do you want to pull out his tail?" But Son Goku's tail can grow again after being pulled out, and Son Goku is not sure when it will grow back. It seems that their tails will suddenly grow out under special circumstances, such as when Son Goku and Master Roshi were competing in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and Son Goku suddenly grew a tail when he was about to lose. So even if the tail is pulled out, it is not safe. Sun Weiyuan thinks that the effective ways are to become strong enough or to take Son Goku away from Baizai Mountain in advance. Become strong enough to deal with Great Ape's Son Goku, and take him away from his grandfather Son Gohan. He can't be trampled to death. Time passed slowly, and one full moon night, Son Goku took advantage of the fact that Sun Weiyuan and his grandfather were asleep, and sneaked out of the house to stare at the moon. "Monster, monster, come out! Monster, come out and fight me!" Sun Weiyuan didn't expect that warning Goku not only had no effect, but also successfully aroused Goku's curiosity, achieving the opposite effect. A monkey cry woke Sun Goiwan and his grandfather from their dreams. Where is Goku? When they came outside and saw Son Goku, who had transformed into a giant ape, wreaking havoc, Son Goku pointed at the giant ape and said, "Grandpa, do you think that giant ape was transformed by Goku? I remember you said that Goku was not a normal human, but an animal man." Old Son Gohan was also wondering at this time, could it be that my cute little Goku has really turned into this fierce and violent gorilla? He protected Son Goiwan behind him. "Goiwan, stay away from here, Grandpa is going to subdue him to see if it's Goku." Sun Weiyuan nodded and stepped back. The giant ape also noticed the two men and rushed towards them after roaring loudly. A fist bigger than old Son Gohan's came down, and old Son Gohan took it. Considering that the giant ape was probably his grandson Goku, he did not fight back, but defended with all his strength, shouting Goku's name, trying to wake up his mind. Sun Goiwan on the side spoke up and reminded, "Grandpa, the tail is Goku's weakness. Maybe if you cut off his tail, Goku will recover." Tail? Yes, when Goku bit his butt, Goku grabbed his tail and fell to the ground completely powerless. He flashed and appeared behind Goku, hugged the giant ape's tail tightly, and the giant ape lost all its strength at once, and its body as big as a mountain fell to the ground. At this time, he was also sure that the giant ape was the missing Goku. "Goiwan, it has no strength to resist," but Goku didn't change back. Sun Goiwan naturally knew that Goku would recover if his tail was cut off, but it would be too abrupt to say it directly. Even his knowledgeable grandfather didn't know, so how would you, a kid who has never been out and seen the world, know it? You can't just say that I saw it on TV. You are characters in anime. "Grandpa, since the tail is Goku's weak spot, why don't we cut off the tail and give it a try, maybe Goku will be able to recover." I thought my grandfather would agree, but he rejected it outright. "No, what if cutting off the tail causes some irreversible consequences to Goku? We can control Goku now, so let's try not to hurt Goku." After hearing this, Sun Weiyuan realized that his grandfather in the original work was obviously very strong. Even if he could not beat Great Ape's Goku, he could still escape. Why was he trampled to death? He loves Son Goku too much to do anything to hurt his grandson, and he just defends himself. Chapter 4. Time passed slowly until the moon in the sky disappeared, and Son Goku recovered from his giant ape state, naked in the arms of old Son Gohan. Turtle-style Qigong wave. A blue ki blast hit a boulder, and with a bang the boulder was shattered. "Wow, brother is so awesome, I want to learn from him too." Little Goku imitated Sun Goiwan's movements. Turtle-style Qigong wave. A thin blue Qigong wave dissipated after it flew out not far away. Little Goku is indeed a martial arts genius, as he learned the Kamehameha after watching it once. But in the original plot, he learned it when he saw Master Roshi use Kamehameha to destroy the Flame Mountain. Now he has changed the plot. However, Sun Weiyuan changed his mind and no longer cared whether the plot changed or not. His appearance was destined to change the plot. What would happen in the future or whether it would still be the original plot direction, did these matter? He stretched out his hand and rubbed little Goku's head non-stop. He didn't know when he got used to rubbing little Goku's black hair. "It's okay Goku. When you become stronger, you will be able to release a powerful Kamehameha wave. You learned it just by watching it. You will definitely be stronger than me and Grandpa in the future." "Really?" "Of course. It took me a lot of effort to learn Kamehameha from my grandfather." Old Son Gohan doesn't need to sigh whether he is old or not, his two grandsons are more talented than each other. In 744 AI, Son Goiwan's strength surpassed his grandfather Son Gohan 2 years ago, and Son Goku's strength is also much stronger than in the original work. According to Son Goku in the original work, his combat power was only about 10 when Bulma found him in the year 748 AK, but now, 4 years ahead of time, little Goku's strength is more than 10 points. When Son Gohan asked his grandfather about taking little Goku to train, Son Gohan agreed immediately because he had taught him everything he could now and there was nothing left to teach him, and Goiwan's strength surpassed his own, so there was no need to worry about any danger. "Goku, Goiwan, since you want to continue your training, then go out into the world and train well. I have a teacher, Master Wu Tian, who is known as the god of martial arts. You can go to Master Wu Tian to train for a while." Son Goiwan and his companions bid farewell to their grandfather Son Gohan and searched for Kame Island according to the map. Little Goku is a little directionally challenged and can't read a map at all. Sun Weiyuan can read a map, but the map is too simple. Goku, go catch those wolves over there. We'll have grilled wolf meat today. Goku, look, that fish in the river is so fat, let's catch it and make spicy grilled fish. Goku, I see Kame Island. That little black dot in front is it. Let's see who gets to the island first. The loser gets to go hunting. I'll count to 3 and start. Okay, even though you are very strong, I will not admit defeat. 1, 2, go. Sun Weiyuan swam out with a whoosh. Brother, you are cheating again. Didn't you say we should count to 3 before swimming together? Sun Weiyuan defended himself while swimming hard. That's right, 1, 2, 2, 1 at the beginning, then 3 times together, right. Teacher Wu Tian was lying on a lounge chair on the beach wearing a pair of sunglasses and reading his collection of bikini books. Sun Weiyuan and his companions, one in front and one behind, created 2 waves of spray that poured over Master Wu Tian. My treasure! I stood up and saw 2 children. Who are you? Not only did you interrupt my reading, but you also damaged the books I have treasured for many years. The 2 of them bowed respectfully, and Sun Goiwan said, Hello, Master Mutant, my name is Sun Goiwan, and I am the grandson of Sun Gohan, whom you taught before. He is my younger brother, Sun Goku. Oh, it's Gohan's grandson, is he okay? Grandpa is in good health. We would like to come and practice with you, Master Roshi. Is that okay? Master Roshi then looked at them seriously. What a great talent! They are so strong at such a young age. No wonder his disciple Sun Gohan wanted them to come to him for training. He probably couldn't teach them anymore. Think carefully, it is very hard to practice under me. It is not too late for you to regret now. In this way, Sun Goku and Sun Weiyuan practiced with Master Roshi for a year, following Master Roshi's practice philosophy, study, rest, and practice, and strictly completing the tasks he assigned. Delivering milk with weights, farming with bare hands, studying culture, working on construction sites, swimming, etc. After this series of training, Sun Weiyuan found that his foundation had become very solid and his strength had become much stronger. What made him happiest was that his body could absorb more energy, and Son Goku's strength increased significantly. Goiwan, and little Goku. I have taught you everything I can, and the rest is enough for you to practice slowly. Sun Weiyuan thought for a moment and said, Grandpa Master Roshi, we still want to continue practicing and become stronger. You still need to get stronger, ahem, you're already strong enough, there's no need to get stronger. A drop of cold sweat flowed down Master Roshi's forehead. He couldn't see through Sun Goiwan's strength anymore, and Son Goku's strength was very close to his. He didn't know where his disciple Son Gohan had picked up these evil grandsons, and not 2 at a time. He can't teach them anymore, so just let them go to that place. Goiwan Goku, if you want to continue your training, you can go to Krillin Tower to find Krillin the Sage. Little Goku asked, is Krillin Sage very strong? How should I put it? Its strength is quite strong, but its strength is only secondary. You will know it when you go there. Grandpa Master Roshi, is Krillin Tower far from here? Little Goku and I are a bit directionally challenged, and if it's too far we'll get lost. Sun Goiwan said. Master Roshi thought about it and shouted somersault cloud, and a golden cloud flew down quickly. Master Roshi introduced, I got this after I climbed up the Krillin Tower and passed the test of the Krillin Immortal. In addition, I also drank the super holy water that can make me several times stronger. This cloud is the somersault cloud. You can fly when you sit on it, but only good children can sit on it. Little Goku asked innocently, can old Master Roshi sit on it? Of course. Master Roshi said as he demonstrated with a jump, his butt passed through the somersault cloud and he fell to the ground with a thud. Little Goku jumped onto the somersault cloud and sat down, smiling happily and saying, Goku is a good boy, and Master Roshi is a bad boy, ha 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 ha. For a moment, Master Roshi's old face was a little embarrassed, and he sent them away. Only people with pure hearts can ride on the somersault cloud. Brother, come up quickly, let's go find Sage Krillin to drink the super holy water and become stronger. Little Goku said happily. Sun Goiwan was a little hesitant, but he still jumped up with gritted teeth. The worst that could happen was that little Goku would laugh at him and call him a bad boy. The next moment his feet were firmly on the somersault cloud, which really surprised him. He didn't expect that he would be a person with a pure mind. Haha, big brother is also a good boy, only Master Roshi is a bad boy. Little Goku laughed loudly, showing 2 rows of white teeth. Little Goku's smile is very contagious. Master Roshi is a little bit unbelievable. Are there so many people with pure hearts? Or is it that people with pure minds are more suitable for cultivation? Chapter 5. Sun Weiyuan took little Goku on the somersault cloud and flew quickly towards Kylin Tower. Arriving at the foot of the Kylin Tower, a bronze-skinned middle-aged man holding a spear came up and asked warily, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Sun Weiyuan could also see a small figure not far behind him, which should be Upa and his father. Upa was a little boy. When Klin saw him for the first time, he was shy and thought he was a girl. Well, Klin's budding love was aborted. "Hello uncle. My name is Sun Boywan, I'm a martial artist, and he's my brother Son Goku." Little Goku also greeted with a smile. "We are here to challenge ourselves to climb the Kylin Tower." Upa's father said in surprise, "You have become martial artists at such a young age? This is amazing, but do you really want to challenge Kylin Tat?" Son Goku and Goku nodded. Upa's father was afraid that they didn't know the danger, so he explained, "No one has challenged Kylin Tower for many years. Legend has it that no one has been able to climb Kylin Tower since Master Roshi successfully climbed it 300 years ago. I tried when I was young, but failed." "Wow, Master Roshi is so awesome." Upa's father was surprised when he heard this and asked, "Do you know Master Roshi?" Little Goku immediately said, "We just finished training with Master Roshi. He asked us to come and train with Kylin the Sage." At first, little Goku didn't know that Master Roshi had climbed the Kylin Tower. It was Sun Boywan who told him on the way. So he is Master Roshi's disciple. No wonder he is a martial artist at such a young age. At this time, Goku's stomach growled, "You guys must be hungry, if you don't mind, come to our tribe and eat your fill before challenging Kylin." There is no other way but to fill his stomach first. The difference in combat power between when little Goku is hungry and when he is full is like that of 2 completely different people. At this time, Sun Weiyuan was already thinking about how to exchange for the senzu beans from the immortal Kylin. This life-saving thing must not be ruined by the lazy fat man Yajirobe. But Master Kylin is a cat, and there is no cat in the world that doesn't like the smell of fish, that is, the smell of fish. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the universal capsule now, otherwise he would go and catch a bunch of fish and exchange them for magic beans. It was too tiring for him to climb up the Kylin Tower carrying the fish. After eating and drinking, the 2 began to climb the Kylin Tower. This tower is too high, with moss and bird droppings. Sun Boywan slowed down and climbed with little Goku, and it took almost a day to climb up Kylin Tower. "I'm so hungry, where's the immortal Kylin?" When Goku saw the white cat, he said, "Big white cat, you are the pet cat of the immortal Kylin, right? Do you know where the immortal Kylin is? You are so rude." Sun Weiyuan tugged at little Goku, "It should be the sage Kylin." Little Goku was shocked, "It is the sage Kylin? Isn't the sage Kylin a human?" "Well, it's not a human." Sun Weiyuan answered without thinking. He realized that something seemed wrong, but it seemed that he was not wrong. A drop of sweat flowed down the cat head of Kylin Immortal. Where did these 2 rude idiots come from? "Are you here for the super holy water?" Sun Weiyuan knew that the super holy water was fake and the super divine water was the real thing, but the super divine water was not something that ordinary people could afford. Even little Goku was tortured to death, and then some people speculated that Goku's heart disease was probably caused by drinking the super divine water. However, the super divine water has unpredictable divine power, which can trigger its own potential and greatly improve its combat effectiveness. However, the super divine water is highly toxic. People who drink the super divine water must first be pure in heart, otherwise they will be poisoned by the super divine water. The super divine water is a treasure left by the earth god. Humans who drink it must first resist the toxicity to stimulate their potential. According to the words of Karin, Goku can defeat old Piccolo after practicing for a few years without drinking the super divine water. The super divine water is only an earth-level treasure. In the original plot of Dragon Ball Z and GT, the super divine water is used to release people controlled by the Yakia mist and those controlled by babies' living egg cells. It is indeed a rare treasure. But Sun Weiyuan felt that it was unnecessary. When it came to developing potential and improving combat effectiveness, the Great Elder of Namek had to be the first. That method was safe, fast and painless, and most importantly, it increased more power. This was the best choice. "Master Roshi asked us to come and practice with you, and then pass your test and drink the super holy water. Let's start. Immortal Krillin nodded. Little Goku said weakly while lying on the floor, I'm so hungry, is there anything to eat? Immortal Krillin slowly opened a jar and took out a green bean from it. Sun Weiyuan realized that it must be the magic bean he had been longing for. The senzu beans were thrown at little Goku, who caught them with one hand and asked in confusion, what is this, Krillin the sage? This is a magic bean. If you eat one, you won't feel hungry for 10 days. Little Goku said doubtfully, really? I have a big appetite. Before he could finish his words, little Goku burped, having not eaten for a day, and Sun Goiwan also took a pill. Sage Krillin, how do we start training? Little Goku asked excitedly. Both of you come together. As long as you can grab this bottle of super holy water from me, you will pass the test. Sun Weiyuan asked with a strange look on his face, are you sure, Master Krillin? Little Goku and I are very strong. As he said this, he suddenly burst out with all his strength while Immortal Krillin wasn't paying attention, and snatched the super holy water in a flash. Sweat kept coming out on the forehead of Krillin Shengren, so amazing, much more powerful than Master Roshi back then. Ahem, you wear a bell. If you can grab the super holy water from me without the bell ringing, you will pass the test. Brother is so awesome. I have to keep working hard too. I'll go first. Little Goku pounced directly at Sage Krillin. After a while, little Goku was exhausted and out of breath. The reason why you can't breathe is because you made too many unnecessary movements. It took the two of them a total of 7 days to pass the test. There was no other way. If the bell rang accidentally, it would easily lead to failure. Little Goku excitedly took a sip from the bottle of super holy water and said puzzledly, I don't think anything has changed. Goku, I think the super holy water is just an introduction. The training given to us by Sage Krillin is the key. So the super holy water is fake. Little Goku said in a bad mood. It's not untrue. Legend has it that one climbs up the Krillin Tower, passes the test, and drinks the super holy water to increase strength. This whole thing is... Brother, you are talking so complicated, I don't understand. Were you as powerful as you are now before you climbed up the Krillin Tower? No, I searched deep inside. I understand, big brother. Thank you, Immortal Krillin. And the Immortal Krillin pinched a cat whisker and squinted his eyes and smiled, I have nothing more to teach you, you can leave now. Chapter 6. And the Immortal Krillin pinched a cat whisker and squinted his eyes and smiled, I have nothing more to teach you, you can leave now. Krillin, wait a minute, I want some senzu beans, is that okay? Krillin Sage narrowed his eyes and stared at Sun Weiyuan for a long time before speaking, your situation is very strange. I can clearly feel that your mind is pure, so I should be able to easily use mind reading to read your mental memory. The fact is that I can easily read Goku's mental memory, but yours is blocked by an unknown force, and I can't read any mental memory at all. Sun Weiyuan felt inexplicably relieved, he didn't want anyone to know his memory. The yield of senzu beans is very low. I have only accumulated a few cans of senzu beans after so many years of planting. I will give you a can of senzu beans. To be honest, Fairy Krillin is still very generous, but when it comes to senzu beans, of course the more the better, as one can mean a life at a critical moment. Sun Weiyuan said with a grin, Master Krillin, I have a deal I want to make with you. Oh? Weiyuan, tell me if there is any deal you can make with me. I haven't been down from the Krillin Tower for hundreds of years. Krillin Immortal asked with a curious smile on his face. Well. How about you sell me your senzu beans and I'll catch some fish to exchange with you. I promise you'll get enough fish. Sun Weiyuan thought that even if 10 fish could not be exchanged for one magic bean, he would still think it was worth it to exchange 100, 1000, or even 10,000 fish for one magic bean. Fish were plentiful in this world, and magic beans were a rare commodity. When the Immortal Krillin heard this, he couldn't sit still. Fish. He hadn't tasted it for hundreds of years. He had dreamed of the taste of fish countless times. Well, calm down, I'm an immortal. He couldn't help but smack his lips a few times, then swallowed his saliva and decided to bargain for a good price. Well, I can trade with you, but I want one senzu bean in exchange for 10 fish. Sun Weiyuan was stunned for a moment. I was ready to bargain, but you just gave me the lowest price I wanted, which made him unable to bargain at all. Krillin Immortal, is the price too high? No problem, we can negotiate. I can just lower the price. The price is negotiable. 10 fish is too expensive. Then 5 fish for 1 senzu bean. If that doesn't work, 2 fish for 1 senzu bean. No less. It's not easy for me to grow senzu beans. The annual yield is very low. When the immortal Krillin was about to speak, Sun Weiyuan agreed immediately, 2 fish for 1 magic bean, deal. He couldn't help but feel that the immortal Krillin was so simple and kind. What was going on with this sudden feeling of guilt? Immortal Krillin was also very satisfied, oh my. As expected of me, I think no one can match my bargaining skills. Both parties were very satisfied and everyone was happy. After leaving Krillin Tower, little Goku asked, brother, where are we going now? Let's go back to Baizai Mountain first. We haven't been back for more than a year. Goku, do you miss your grandpa? Sun Weiyuan said with a smile. Yeah, let's go home now. I really want to see grandpa. Little Goku said while drooling. Sun Weiyuan exclaimed in his heart, my goodness, Goku, are you missing your grandpa, or are you missing the delicious meals that grandpa made? When passing a town, little Goku suddenly said, brother, look at what they are doing. Sun Weiyuan looked down and saw 3 animals holding guns blocking the road and robbing people. A bareheaded man pressed his gun directly on a young man. Goku, are they robbing? Brother, what is robbery? The somersault cloud flew very close to the animal men's heads. Sun Weiyuan pointed at the 3 animal men with guns, and his finger almost poked the forehead of a minotaur. Goku, you see, their behavior of being lazy, getting something for nothing, and robbing others' money is robbery. Little Goku opened his eyes wide and said, it's so complicated and confusing. I don't understand what you are saying, brother. Anyway, Goku, remember that people who steal other people's things like them are bad guys. If you meet them, you can beat them up. Yoshi, then you don't have to be polite. The 3 animal men were immediately furious. You 2 ignorant little devils, go to hell. Da-da-da. Bullets shot towards Sun Goiwan and little Goku. Sun Goiwan narrowed his eyes slightly, and his right hand left a trail of afterimages in the air. The few unlucky guys who were robbed were scared to death when they heard the gunshots. After the bullets in the animal man's gun were used up, a pile of bullets were left under Sun Weiyuan's feet. The 3 animal people were almost frightened. Silly, impossible, how can there be a monster that is not afraid of bullets? They turned around and rode on the airship and tried to run away. Little Goku saw this and turned his head and asked calmly, brother, they are trying to run away. Should we stop them? It's okay. We have the somersault cloud. They are not as fast as us. I can ask them to run 100 meters first, and it's okay. Brother, they have already flown far away. If we don't chase them, we will lose sight of them. Ahaha, a little embarrassing, then what are you waiting for? Somersault cloud, chase. Son Goku stopped 3 animal men who were robbing in a dense forest. Goku, go and knock them all out. Oh, okay. Little Goku's figure disappeared, and 3 dull sounds of bang, bang, bang were heard, and all the animal men fainted on the ground. Sun Goiwan stepped forward and attacked them. Brother, what are you doing? Little Goku asked curiously. I call this punishing evil and promoting good. The 3 of them did bad things, so we may not kill them, but we should give them some punishment. Sun Weiyuan put several universal capsules from the animal man into his pocket. He had wanted universal capsules for a long time, and this time he could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. When he had time, he would catch fish and put them into universal capsules to exchange for magic beans with Krillin the Immortal. Perfect. He had this consideration before not knocking out the 3 animal people directly. After all, it is better to do such things in a deserted grove. Goku, go and destroy their guns, the ones they used to attack us. Also, take off their clothes and throw them away on the way. It's fun to have a well-behaved brother. As Goku was taking off his clothes, he asked, why did you take off their clothes? Aren't they doing bad things? Then let's make them look bad. Little Goku was full of questions. Why is it shameful to take off all clothes? Don't think about it. We have to go back quickly. If we go back too late, Grandpa might not have cooked for us. When little Goku heard that he had no food to eat, he was so anxious that he said, what are you waiting for? Somersault cloud. Big brother, come up quickly, somersault cloud fly quickly. Chapter 7. The speed of the somersault cloud was very fast, and Sun Weiyuan soon saw the familiar Baizai Mountain and Sun Gohan, his adopted grandfather. As soon as he saw his grandfather, little Goku jumped off his cloud and threw himself into the arms of old Sun Gohan. "Grandpa, I missed you so much." Sun Weiyuan was a little overwhelmed for a moment. He was now 11 years old, and his body was growing very fast. He was already as tall as his grandfather. His age in both lives added up to almost 30. He had to compete with little Goku for his grandfather's embrace. He walked up to his grandfather and said with a smile, "Long time no see, Grandpa, are you in good health?" Old Sun Gohan smiled so hard that his eyes narrowed into slits, and he probably couldn't even see anything. "Welcome home, kid." Patting Sun Weiyuan on the shoulder, he said, "Weiyuan, you are almost taller than Grandpa after not seeing you for a year, and your body is stronger too. Grandpa is very satisfied with your practice results." Gurgle gurgle, it was the sound of little Goku's hungry stomach. "Haha, Grandpa will go cook for you guys right away." When he went to bed at night, Sun Weiyuan lay in bed thinking about the original timeline of Dragon Ball. It is now the 745th year of the Aki era. Little Goku turned into a gorilla and trampled his grandfather to death in the 748th year of the Aki era. Now I am watching and will not let this happen again. In 749 AI, Bulma began to look for the Dragon Ball, and around September she came to Baizai Mountain and met little Goku. The Dragon Ball was actually not very important, as the Shenron on Earth had very limited abilities, and any useful wishes would probably not be fulfilled. I should be able to wish for Namex Supreme Shenron to obtain instant transmission that can be used without the need for perception of energy. There are also the Super Shenrons of the 6th and 7th universes, if I can get them. JFEI, I haven't decided what to wish for yet. By the way, tomorrow we'll go to the mountains and find the spherical universe spaceship that little Goku took. It'll be very useful if we keep it. There should be a combat power detector on that universe spaceship, which will allow me to measure my current combat power. However, the combat effectiveness detectors of Frieza's army were equipped with positioning and monitoring devices, which was not easy to solve. It seemed that we had to go to Bulma's house in the western capital to find Dr. Briefs, and then we could just fly in on the somersault cloud to find him. Would it be rude to just barge into someone else's house? The problem is that none of Dr. Brief's family recognizes him. Whatever, go to sleep. The next morning, before Goku and his grandfather woke up, Sun Weiyuan quietly got up and shouted loudly when he was far enough away from the house, "Somersault cloud!" Sun Weiyuan got on the somersault cloud and searched according to the memory of Goku he discovered a few years ago. After searching for about an hour, he found the spherical universe spaceship. The crater created by the universe spacecraft is still there, but a few years have passed and many green plants have grown there. The surface of the spacecraft is also covered with a layer of moss. If someone doesn't know the situation, they might think that the universe spacecraft has been scrapped. But in reality there is no big problem. Sun Weiyuan remembered that in the original work, when Piccolo was training Goku's son Son Gohan, this universe spaceship could also create and project an artificial moon, turning Son Gohan Great Ape into a gorilla, and then it was destroyed by Piccolo. When Krillin and his companions were preparing to go to Namek to look for the Dragon Ball, they also came to look for the universe spaceship, but regrettably they could only find a pile of wreckage, and finally they went to look for the universe spaceship that the gods had taken. Sun Weiyuan jumped into the pit, loaded the universe spaceship into the universal capsule, and then returned to his residence. Old Son Gohan noticed his return and called out, "Gon, it's time for breakfast. Here it comes." Weiyuan got up very early today. "Well, Gu. Grandpa, I'm going to the mountains to practice early, don't get it wrong, it's not early love." Sun Weiyuan swallowed the food in his mouth and said casually. Little Goku heard this and said, "Ha ha ha, brother, you are so cunning. You went to practice without asking me. Goku, swallow the food in your mouth before you speak. You can't even speak clearly." After dinner, Sun Weiyuan said to his grandfather, "Grandpa, I need to go out for a while." "Oh, then be careful when you go out." "Don't worry, I'm very strong now." Little Goku wanted to follow him after hearing that. "Where are you going, big brother? Are you going to practice?" "I want to go too." "Goku, I'm not going to practice, I have something important to do. If you want to come with me, you can, but I probably won't eat lunch then." When little Goku heard that he might not have food to eat if he was not going to practice, he immediately decided not to go hungry with his big brother. "Big brother, Grandpa and I will be waiting for you to come back for dinner, /. Somersault Cloud, go to Bulma's house in the West City. Oh. You don't know where Bulma's house is, then do you know how to get to the West City? So Sun Weiyuan flew westward on the Somersault Cloud. Speaking of which, the Somersault Cloud is also a very magical creature. Not only can it carry people to fly and find the way, but it can also distinguish between good and evil. All physical attacks are ineffective against it. Goku's first Somersault Cloud was broken up by the demons, and later Sage Krillin took another Somersault Cloud from the original body and gave it to little Goku. So the Somersault Cloud under his butt is just a piece of his main body. After arriving in Zidu, Sun Weiyuan went around asking many people before he found Dr. Brief's residence. Before he traveled through time, he had a crappy map on his phone when he traveled. Now he realized that he was actually a bit directionally challenged. He thought about it and decided not to just barge in, so he shouted loudly at the door, "Is Dr. Brief's home?" An intelligent robot came out of the villa, "Hello, I want to talk to Dr. Briefs, is he home?" Then he followed the robot to the yard of the villa and saw Dr. Briefs, who was wearing a white coat and holding a cigarette in his mouth, and Mrs. Briefs, who was dressed fashionably and was elegantly preparing snacks. "Young man, what do you want to talk to me about?" "It's like this." Sun Goiwan recounted to Dr. Briefs in detail how he discovered the universe spaceship, cleverly concealing the matter of little Goku. "That's about it. Universe spaceship, this technology does not exist on Earth at present. If there really is a ready-made universe spaceship, I can fill this gap through research." Dr. Briefs thought for a moment and said, "Universe spacecraft technology is very rare. If you have any requests or wishes, you can tell me. If possible, I would like to ask the doctor to build me a universe spaceship and a gravity room after thoroughly studying the universe spaceship. The universe spacecraft is prepared for the future, and the gravity room is mainly prepared for little Goku. After all, although gravity training is useful for Earthlings, it is quite limited. However, its role for Scion is immeasurable." Dr. Briefs agreed to his request. Sun Weiyuan took out the combat power detector and said, "Doctor, this is a device that can detect the combat power of a martial artist. Doctor, see if you can make it." Dr. Briefs took the combat power detector and looked at it carefully. Sun Weiyuan reminded him, "The universe spaceship seems to come from an evil force in the universe. The spaceship may be equipped with their positioning. And who knows if there will be anything else installed in this detector." Chapter 8. Combat Power Detector. "What is that?" Dr. Briefs asked puzzledly, touching his chin. Sun Weiyuan looked around the yard, walked to a big tree, took a deep breath, and punched the tree hard. "Mrs. Briefs, little brother, please don't." Before he could finish his words, Sun Weiyuan's fist punched through the tree. When he pulled his arm back, the tree shook violently, leaving a hole in the trunk. "Big tree, why am I the one getting hurt again?" Sun Weiyuan thought to himself, "TV dramas are really all lies. I punched through this big tree but it didn't break in half. How could the tree break when I hit it on the surface with my fists? If I use gas, it's possible. I didn't expect you to be so strong at such a young age. It's really surprising. But it's not over yet." Sun Weiyuan used his hand as a knife and slashed horizontally. The tree fell down. "Big tree, destroy it, I'm tired." He picked up the big tree and threw it into the sky, Kirtle-style Qigong wave. The blue ki blast directly turned the big tree in the sky into ashes, and the breeze blew away, and the ashes flew away. Sun Weiyuan used a few terms to explain the concept of combat effectiveness to Dr. Briefs. Afterwards, Dr. Briefs was still shocked and said, "I never thought that human martial artists could cultivate such powerful strength. So, Dr. Briefs, I'll leave the next things to you." Sun Weiyuan turned around and was about to leave. Mrs. Briefs said with a smile on her face, "When my little brother grows up in a few years, will he be interested in going out with me?" Sun Weiyuan almost fell down. Mrs. Briefs was really the same as in the original plot. She liked to ask handsome guys out on a date when she saw them. Somersault Cloud. He jumped on the Somersault Cloud and left awkwardly. "Hehe, so I should look pretty good, a handsome guy, / I'm only 11 years old, and my body hasn't fully grown yet. When I turn 18, I will definitely be extremely handsome and hope to catch up with the handsome and cool readers." Sun Weiyuan sat on the Somersault Cloud and thought about what to do next. Dragon Ball has to wait for Bulma to create the Dragon Ball radar, and the gravity room and the universe spaceship can only wait for Dr. Briefs to create them. Let's go find the immortal Krillin first. This time he did not climb the Krillin tower with his bare hands, but rode on the somersault cloud to find the immortal Krillin directly. Wei Yuan, are you ready to trade fish with me? Asked the immortal Krillin with some anticipation. No, I was wondering if you prefer river fish or sea fish. Wei Yuan, you are so thoughtful. I will definitely trade all the senzu beans I grow with you in the future. I can also consider giving you a 20% discount. Half is the best. Okay, Master Krillin, please wait a moment. I'll be right back. Sun Wei Yuan handed the universal capsule filled with fish to the immortal Krillin. This universal capsule contains fish from the river, and the other one contains fish from the sea. Immortal Krillin, you have room for them. Yes, yes, yes. Immortal Krillin excitedly took the universal capsule. Soon Sun Wei Yuan saw the immortal Krillin coming out carrying a still struggling fish and threw the universal capsule to him. Meow, this fish is very fresh, I am very satisfied, those magic beans are yours, you are welcome to trade again next time. Sun Wei Yuan felt that this sentence was somewhat familiar. Uncle, welcome to play again next time. He quickly shook his head to clear the distracting thoughts from his mind. Master Krillin, you are very knowledgeable and well informed. Goku and I want to further our training. I would like to ask you if there is any suitable place for training or a powerful martial artist. Immortal Krillin pinched a cat whisker and asked, Wei Yuan, you are already very strong now. There should be no martial artist stronger than you on earth. Why do you want to become stronger? Sun Wei Yuan said calmly, I don't know why. I always dream of a very scary demon king coming out to destroy the world. At first, it was nothing, but the dream was too real. I have the same dream from time to time. I am worried that the dream will come true. Your situation is indeed a bit strange. Tell me the content of that dream quickly and I will help you find the reason. Immortal Krillin said calmly. It's like this. A huge green devil appeared in my dream. I think his name was Bai. What was Bai? Sun Wei Yuan paused for a moment, deliberately taking a deep breath. Immortal Krillin's heart skipped a beat. Could it really be that Piccolo Daimao? Is it Piccolo? Oh, yes, yes, I remember now. His name is Piccolo Daimao. Immortal Krillin, you are amazing. You know everyone I saw in my dream. You are worthy of being an immortal. Fairy Krillin began to pinch a cat's whisker in an extremely professional manner again, with a very calm expression and an otherworldly aura emanating from her. I dreamed that Piccolo Daimao brought many green monsters with wings to attack humans. A powerful martial artist appeared among humans and used a magic seal to seal Piccolo Daimao in a rice cooker, and then the martial artist died. Immortal Krillin breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that I was dreaming about something that happened in the past, but it was really strange. The rice cooker was opened, Piccolo Daimao reappeared on Earth, wreaking havoc everywhere, and those green-winged monsters pounced on me, and I woke up. Krillin Immortal's heart was lifted again. Why is there a sequel? The previous one is a real scene of what happened in the past, so does the latter one indicate that Piccolo Daimao will break the seal and bring disaster to the earth again? Or send this evil boy to be trained by the gods. Then, even if Piccolo Daimao reappears, there will be someone who can suppress him. Immortal Krillin coughed lightly and said, Wei Yuan, there is only one place on earth where someone can teach you how to practice. It raised its head and looked upwards, that is the Temple of Heaven. There are people up there who can teach you how to practice. Sun Wei Yuan was very surprised and said, is there still a heavenly temple on earth? Are there gods in that heavenly temple? Immortal Krillin was very pleased with Sun Wei Yuan's surprised expression, of course, but it is not easy to get the guidance of the gods. Sun Wei Yuan said with a puzzled look on his face, what should I do then? He felt that he had a chance of winning the Oscar for Best Actor. Don't worry. You and Goku have passed my test, so you have a chance to go to the Temple of the Gods to receive guidance from the gods. But to go to the Temple of the Gods, you need the Ruyi Rod that can be extended and changed. It is not in my hand now. It was taken away by that shameless Master Roshi 300 years ago. If you want to go to the Heavenly Temple to practice, you need to obtain the Ruyi stick first. Sun Wei Yuan said goodbye to the immortal Krillin, and got the senzu beans. He no longer had to worry about the scene of breaking a senzu bean into two in the future. After returning to Beizai and having a few days of leisure and happiness, he took little Goku to find the immortal Krillin, got the token, the bell, and went to the Temple of Heaven to practice. Chapter 9. Sun Wei Yuan said goodbye to the immortal Krillin, and got the senzu beans. He no longer had to worry about the scene of breaking a senzu bean into two in the future. After returning to Beizai and having a few days of leisure and happiness, he took little Goku to find the immortal Krillin, got the token, the bell, and went to the Temple of Heaven to practice. After returning, Beizai and little Goku went to the mountains to play for a few days. Little Goku was very lively and active, as if he was tireless. When he was hungry, he chased a huge dinosaur as prey and asked Sun Weiyuan to help him roast it. In fact, little Goku also knows how to make barbecue, but that is just to fill his stomach, and his barbecue is not as delicious as that made by Sun Goiwan. Even though he often saw little Goku eating, he still wondered in his heart when he saw a huge dinosaur like a mountain of meat being eaten by an 8-year-old boy with tiny arms and legs like little Goku. What on earth is Sion's stomach made of? How could it hold so much food? Are they ferocious gluttons? One morning, Sun Goiwan took little Goku to Krillin Tower. Brother, what is the Temple of the Gods? That's where the gods live. Who is the god? Is he very powerful? The gods are the gods who manage the earth. They should be very powerful. Are there people as strong as you, big brother? Little Goku asked expectantly. Sun Weiyuan thought about it and felt that the strength of the gods seemed to be stronger than Piccolo Daimao. He also didn't know his current strength, which made him feel completely in the dark. I haven't fought him, so I don't know, but I think the god should be stronger than I am now. And the most important thing about the god is not his strength. His other abilities are very special and important. Anyway, it's hard to explain it in a short time. You will know it later, Goku. The two of them rode the somersault cloud to the Krillin Tower and saw the immortal Krillin doing gymnastics. Goiwan and little Goku, are you ready to go to the Celestial Temple to train? The two men nodded. Seeing this, immortal Krillin took out a bell and handed it to Sun Weiyuan, then took them to the top of Krillin Tower. See that groove? Put the Ruyi stick in there and let it stretch. Then you can follow the Ruyi stick to reach the Temple of the Gods. After putting away the Ruyi rod, Sun Weiyuan and little Goku turned around to thank the Sage Krillin. Thank you, Sage Krillin. Goku, hold on to the Ruyi stick, are you ready? Ruyi stick extend. The two were struck by lightning on the way, but they still arrived at the Temple of Heaven safely. Sun Weiyuan secretly made up his mind to learn the flying technique, otherwise it would be inconvenient for him to go anywhere. Little Goku saw the black-clad Bobo and asked, "Excuse me, are you a god?" The black Uncle Bobo shook his head expressionlessly, and then said, "Show us your tokens." Little Goku was confused, and Sun Goiwan gave the bell to Popo. Goku scratched the back of his head and said, "Oh, so the bell is the token. Come with me, the gods want to see you." After saying that, Bobo turned around, put his hands behind his back and led the way. On the way, little Goku was very curious about everything in the Temple of Heaven, like a little monkey looking around. Before seeing the person, I heard his voice first. You must be the Sun Weiyuan and Son Goku that Krillin told me about. Little Goku, the god looks so weird. Sun Weiyuan was very shocked and pointed at the god and said, You are Piccolo Daimao. Since the gods mentioned the immortal Krillin, it should have told the gods about the dream that Sun Weiyuan had. As a professional actor, one has to act out the whole thing, otherwise it will be easy to be exposed. The god thought to himself, as Krillin said, this Sun Weiyuan really dreamed of Piccolo Daimao. So what he said about Piccolo Daimao breaking the seal and escaping, will it become a reality? This possibility is very high. Sun Weiyuan may have the ability to predict the future. Little Goku had never seen his big brother so shocked before, so he asked curiously, "Excuse me, who is Piccolo Daimao Omega?" The black uncle explained, that was the demon king who appeared more than 300 years ago. He led a group of demons to destroy the earth. In the end, he was sealed in the rice cooker by an outstanding martial artist, Wu Taidu, using the magic sealing wave. That Wu Taidu was Master Roshi's teacher. Then, why did Big Brother mistake the god for Piccolo Daimao? Little Goku's clever little head suddenly came online. Black Uncle Bobo said expressionlessly, "Don't be rude to the gods." "It's okay, Popo, Goto, you must be very curious about the relationship between the god and Piccolo Daimao." Sun Weiyuan said silently in his heart, "I know everything, and I'm not curious at all about your relationship with Piccolo Daimao." "Yes, I'm very curious why you look exactly like Piccolo Daimao." Sun Weiyuan controlled his facial muscles to create a perfect expression. Then little Goku listened attentively to the god's story of the past, and he finally finished after an hour. Sun Weiyuan rolled his eyes inwardly. Can't you just keep it short? Isn't it just that good and evil are separated, and the gods Piccolo and the gods are one? I know all of this. The god said seriously, I heard about the dream you had from Krillin. Although I don't know why you dreamed of Piccolo Daimao, Sun Weiyuan, I still want to ask you too, if Piccolo Daimao really escapes from the seal one day, I hope you can take action to deal with Piccolo Daimao. What can be done? Sun Goiwan and Little Goku naturally agreed. It's just Piccolo Daimao. Little Goku in the original work could handle it, let alone now. What's more, it's still a long time before Piccolo Daimao comes out. Piccolo Daimao, who has broken the seal, is already very old. Even at his peak, his combat power is only 230. Little Goku already possessed a fighting power close to that of Master Roshi before he even started training in the Temple of Heaven. I don't know exactly how strong he is, but he's definitely over 100. When Piccolo Daimao breaks the seal and escapes, ready to rule the world, he can say, Goku, Piccolo Daimao is too weak. I'm not interested in him. I'll leave it to you to destroy the big devil and maintain world peace. The gods did not personally teach Sun Goiwan and Little Goku. They were led by Popo to practice in the Temple of the Gods. Sun Goiwan is actually quite curious about Popo's strength. In the early stage of Dragon Ball, Popo could easily control Little Goku after defeating Piccolo Daimao. In the later Buu arc, he was able to catch the young Son Goten and Trunks, and Son Goten and Trunks turned into Super Saiyans and broke free from the hands of Black Uncle Popo. Bobo's unchanging black face said expressionlessly, you two attack me together. Little Goku asked uncertainly, Mr. Popo, are you sure? My brother and I are very strong. Chapter 10. Little Goku asked uncertainly, Mr. Popo, are you sure? My brother and I are very strong. Goku, Mr. Popo is very powerful. Even if we two attack him together, we are no match for him. But why do I feel like Mr. Popo isn't very powerful? Little Goku asked puzzledly. Just give it a try with all your strength and you'll know. Sun Weiyuan said helplessly. Even though he knew some of the plot, he couldn't be sure of Bobo's true strength. The official setting gives Popo's combat power value as 1000, but he can fight with Son Goten and Trunks who have become Super Saiyans. Moreover, he had served several generations of gods, but he still didn't look old. Instead, the current gods were all old. Little Goku got ready after hearing that, and the next moment he attacked with all his strength, using rock paper scissors, drunken fist, and after image fist in turn. He was so exhausted that he couldn't even touch a hair of Popo. Seeing that Goku was almost exhausted, Sun Weiyuan also attacked Popo with all his strength. Bobo dodged and said, pay attention to your breathing rhythm. Don't make unnecessary consumption. Be as peaceful as the sky and as fast as lightning. A year passed quickly, and the two's training had reached Popovich's requirements and they were ready to proceed to the next stage of training. Bobo began to train them to perceive chi and how to use chi to fight, which was much more difficult than the previous training. Sun Weiyuan remembers that Son Goku in the original plot also took 3 years to learn it, and I don't know how long it will take now. He originally thought that little Goku would need more time to learn, but unexpectedly, after Goku saw that he had learned it in just 3 months, he seemed to be inspired. During the training, Sun Weiyuan could only be described as crazy. He learned everything in just 1 year. Sun Weiyuan discovered that after he learned how to sense chi, he could clearly feel the vital energy. Instead of waiting for his body to passively absorb the vital energy and become stronger as he did in the past, he could now actively absorb the vital energy into his body. When he first learned to sense chi, his body seemed to have been hungry for a long time and was very eager for chi. It seemed that he could absorb as much chi as possible. However, after Sun Weiyuan absorbed the vital energy for a long enough time, his body felt full. It seems that there is a limit to the amount of vital energy that the body can absorb. He also thought that he had acquired some attribute of infinite devouring during the process of traveling, such as he started out as an ordinary person and became stronger only by devouring. He even planned to go to King Kai with Goku to learn Spirit Bomb. Even if he couldn't learn it, he could let Goku collect energy for him to absorb and become stronger quickly, and beat Beerus Cat Head in a minute. It seemed that he was overthinking. Becoming stronger through practice was not as easy as he thought. However, he was not too disappointed. Little Goku has asked him more than once why his strength is not improving as fast as his. Indeed, during the 2 years in the Temple of the Gods, his strength increased several times. He could kill someone with the fighting power of Piccolo Daimao with just one poke of his finger. In addition, he also learned the flying technique. I remember how excited he was when he first learned it. He crashed into a house in the Temple of Heaven and made a big hole. Once, he almost fell into the toilet. Fortunately, he had good skills and was able to force himself to move away, thus narrowly avoiding the dangerous toilet. When little Goku saw that he could fly in the sky without the somersault cloud, he immediately got excited and clamored to learn the flying technique. Until now, he still didn't know how well Goku had learned the flying technique. After learning the flying technique, Sun Wuyuan left the Temple of Heaven for a while. He went to Zidu and got the Universe spacecraft and gravity chamber from Dr. Briefs, but the maximum gravity of the gravity chamber was only 50 times. He hasn't used the gravity room yet, so he doesn't know how effective gravity training will be on him. He was still a little worried. There was no place to charge in the Temple of the Gods, and his home on Baizai Mountain had no electricity, so the gravity room could not be used for a while. Of course, other energy sources are also fine, but Sun Wuyuan's pockets are cleaner than his face, so how can he have the money to buy energy? Go ask Dr. Briefs for energy again? Sun Wuyuan secretly complained, why are you so shameless? We are not related to each other, and we are not their son-in-law. Wait, I have an immature idea, I don't know if it will work. Don't worry, the gravity chamber still has some energy left, which is enough for a while. After it's used up, maybe we can punish evil and promote good like last time. It's really amazing. I didn't expect that you two brothers have such high martial arts talent. You can reach this level in just 2 years. Even if Piccolo Daimao comes out in the future, he will not be a match for any of you. Thank you for your praise, God. Thanks to your guidance on our martial arts, otherwise our strength would not have been improved so quickly. When Son Goku was about to turn around and leave, he looked up and saw the tail behind little Goku's butt. Oh my god, how could I almost forget such an important thing? Just in case, I'd better ask the gods to help seal little Goku's tail. Goku, wait here for me. Can you move on, God? I need your help with something. The voice of the god suddenly came to Sun Wuyuan's mind, it's because of the restless and violent power in Goku. I feel it, the dormant power is very strong, once it awakens, even you may not be able to suppress it. Yes, I didn't expect that the gods would find out, so I would like to ask the gods to seal Goku's tail so that it will never grow again. Can? Little Goku looked at his older brother standing there in confusion. Sun Goiwan turned around and said to Goku, Goku, I'm going to let the gods seal your tail. Brother, what seal? Just like locking you in a room and locking the door so you can't get out, after sealing your tail it will be inside your body and can't get out. But why did you seal my tail? Big brother, since you don't have a tail, will it also be sealed by Grandpa? Well, Goku, you are such a clever little fellow. Because your tail is a very big weakness. Don't you realize that every time I grab your tail, you fall to the ground completely powerless? If you encounter a strong enemy in the future and he grabs your tail, you will lose, right? Then seal it. Little Goku said indifferently. Seeing that little Goku had agreed, God, thank you very much. The gods used a seal to completely seal little Goku's tail. When Son Gohan saw this, he breathed a sigh of relief. Now Grandpa Son Gohan no longer had to worry about being stepped on to death by little Goku who turned into a gorilla. Little Goku was not used to having no tail. He walked unsteadily and seemed like he would fall down at any time. It feels so weird, but it doesn't matter. Big brother, I have no weaknesses now, right? Little Goku sat down on the ground, opened his innocent big eyes and tilted his head to ask Sun Goiwan. Of course, Goku will definitely be more powerful than Big Brother in the future. Chapter 11. Scions are indeed a race that uses cheats. If they can't win, they will see Manu turn into a gorilla, and their strength will increase tenfold. If they are beaten half to death and recover, their strength will also increase dramatically. If they are suppressed and beaten, they will be unhappy and burst into anger. A Super Saiyan transformation can increase their combat power to 50 times. In short, Scion's strength increased ridiculously fast in the later period. Earthlings like me who honestly improve their strength can only practice step by step. Fortunately, the speed at which I improve my strength is not slow. According to the current situation, Goku will not be able to surpass him for a long time in the future. By the way, Goku, have you learned the flying technique? Well, I've learned it. Well, let's go. Goodbye God, goodbye Mr. Popo. ×2 Sun Weiyuan and the other man flew headfirst and soon saw the immortal Krillin. After greeting him, they flew towards Baizai mountain. It is now the year 747 AD. Will Bulma come looking for the Dragon Ball again 2 years from now? I think so. The characters that are supposed to appear will appear, and Bulma hasn't been affected by his appearance yet. On the way back, Sun Weiyuan took out the combat power detector improved by Dr. Briefs, put it on his head, and then clicked to turn it on. Brother, what are you wearing? They look different from Master Roshi's sunglasses. This is called a combat power detector. I asked Dr. Sija Briefs to help me make it. It can be used to detect the strength of a martial artist's combat power. Sun Weiyuan explained patiently. Little Goku scratched the back of his head and asked him, but can't we already sense chi? We can judge the strength of our opponents through the perception of chi. This is useless in our battle. Goku is indeed a natural fighting genius. He immediately thought of fighting, and it turned out to be true. Earth martial artists like him and Goku can directly judge the strength of their enemies through the perception of chi, and can also control their own chi so that combat power detectors cannot detect their true strength. However, the perception of chi also has its shortcomings, which is that it does not allow people to compare combat effectiveness more accurately. For example, when encountering a strong opponent, you can basically only use 2 words to describe it, very strong, but you can't really say how strong the opponent is. Goku, it can use numbers to roughly measure our battles, and we can know more clearly how much our strength has improved through training. Sun Weiyuan said a lot of things in a very eloquent way, and little Goku was confused. Brother, although I don't understand what you said, I feel like you are very powerful. Come on, Goku, use all your strength to show me your combat power. After hearing this, little Goku burst out with all his strength, and the value of the combat power detector soared all the way, and finally stabilized at 330. Wow, that's almost as strong as the fighting power of Freshman Piccolo when he first fought Son Goku. Freshman Piccolo in that time period was only 334, which is also the full strength of Piccolo in the 7th Dragon Ball finale. At the beginning of Dragon Ball 7, Goku met Bulma, and his combat power was 10 at that time. But it's already 330 now, judging by the strength, that means Dragon Ball 7 has ended before it even began. 330? Then what's your fighting power, brother? I feel like you're many times stronger than me. Little Goku said, scratching his cheek with his index finger. Sun Weiyuan's aura burst out without holding back, and the gods in the heavenly temple were shocked. Sun Weiyuan's true strength is still beyond my expectations, very powerful aura. The immortal Krillin on the Krillin Tower was so frightened that a drop of cold sweat dripped from his round cat head. Weiyuan has been training in the heavenly god temple for 2 years. Has his strength become so terrifying? Little Goku was blown away by the sudden huge aura. Brother is really very powerful. My intuition was right. The data from the combat power detector quickly climbed to 3,200. A combat power of only 3,200 would not be enough for the future, but on Earth at present, even the gods were no match for him. Brother, what is your fighting power? Only 3,200. Wow, that's awesome. You're about 10 times as powerful as me. I'm going to fight you when we get back to Baizai Mountain. The Goku in front of her had learned arithmetic, unlike in the original book where he was 11 years old and then 14 years old after growing 1 year older, which scared Bulma at the time. No problem. I have a gift for you when you get home. It will help you improve your strength quickly. The gift that Sun Weiyuan was referring to was naturally the gravity room. Really? Of course. When has your eldest brother ever lied to you? The next 2 years were spent in intensive training, and little Goku would challenge Son Gohan to a fight every few days. Every time he beats Goku until he is lying on the ground with a bruised face, he will not stop. Grandpa Son Gohan feels so distressed to see his little grandson being beaten like this. Almost after every fight, he would find Sun Weiyuan and give him a lecture, asking him to give in to his younger brother. It's easy to fool Son Goku about other things, but when it comes to fighting, Son Gohan is completely helpless. If he lets up even a little, little Goku will see through it. Goku has a persistence and obsession in fighting that is difficult for ordinary people to understand. Sun Weiyuan can't give him too much water, after all, his fighting power is there. After training with Goku in the gravity room for half a year, Son Gohan found that the gravity room had very limited effect on improving his strength, so he let little Goku train alone in the gravity room, while he went to the deep mountains and forests to absorb energy quietly, which is somewhat similar to Piccolo's training method. Training in the gravity room has significantly improved Goku's strength. His combat power value is already over 5,000, and he has gradually adapted to training in 30 times the gravity. Speaking of the gravity chamber, for the sake of little Goku's training, Sun Goiwan often goes out for a walk to see if he can find an opportunity to help the weak and supplement the family income at the same time, stripping and robbing at gunpoint, because he is poor. It takes a lot of energy to open the gravity chamber. After 2 years, his combat effectiveness has stabilized. Although it is still considerable, as his combat effectiveness has increased, the rate of improvement is not enough for him now. He thought that he could consider it from 2 aspects, one is to enhance his affinity to yuan qi, the other is to speed up the speed of gathering yuan qi. Not knowing if there was any way to further increase his affinity for qi, and thus speed up his body's absorption of qi, Sun Weiyuan considered making a wish to Shenron, but the Earth Shenron's ability was too weak, and there was no certainty that his wish could come true. Even with name X Shenron, he was not 100% sure that Shenron could fulfill his wish. The most reliable one would be the Super Shenron that spanned 2 universes. The problem is that the Super Dragon Ball is not something he can get right now, and making a wish to the Super Shenron requires knowing the language of God. That leaves the latter option, which is to find a way to speed up the gathering of vitality. Chapter 12. That leaves the second option, which is to find a way to speed up the gathering of vitality, King Kai's ultimate move, Spirit Bomb. Since he has the ability to absorb vital energy after traveling through time, it shouldn't be difficult for him to learn this special move, Spirit Bomb. To go to King Kai's planet, you need to be led by the gods to the King of Hell, and then pass through the snake path to reach King Kai's planet where King Kai lives. In 749 AI, Bulma, a high school student in Sato, discovered a 2-star Dragon Ball while sorting out her family's warehouse. On August 22, Bulma found the Rei Shenron beads in a cave in the north. She discovered the secret of the Dragon Ball by reading ancient books, so she decided to use her summer vacation to collect the remaining Dragon Balls. On the morning of September 1, Goiwan and little Goku went out hunting. Goiwan killed a dinosaur because he thought it was big enough for little Goku to have a meal. Moreover, the meat on the dinosaur's claws and dragon tendons are very chewy. The high-quality spicy strips made with dragon tendons and chili powder taste excellent, and Sun Weiyuan likes that taste very much. Before Son Goku's tail was sealed by the gods, he often used his tail to catch big fish. Now that he can't fish anymore, he simply jumps into the river to pick the biggest fish and throws it on shore. When the two were about to return home, Sun Goiwan was still wondering whether little Goku would be hit by Bulma's car like in the original plot. The next moment, a car came straight towards the two of them, and at the same time an urgent soprano voice was heard, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" Although Sun Weiyuan was carrying a huge dinosaur on his shoulder, he still dodged it very flexibly. If little Goku was still the original Goku with a combat power of only 10, he would have been knocked away by the suddenly appearing flying car. And now little Goku, who has a combat power of 5,000, easily and happily dodged the flying car. Bang! The car crashed into a big tree and stopped. Little Goku put down the big fish in his hand, came to Bulma and said, "Who are you? Why did you attack me and my brother? Are you here to steal our prey?" Bulma, however, looked at Sun Goiwan and little Goku in a dumbfounded manner, especially the two huge preys, the dinosaur and the big fish. "Oh my god! What kind of monster did I encounter? How could someone in the world have such great strength?" Hearing little Goku's question, she hurriedly shook her head like a rattle. I didn't mean to steal your prey, I was driving too fast and couldn't stop. I'm so sorry that I almost hit you." Little Goku looked at Bulma suspiciously. "Brother, come here, this person looks so weird, look at her butt on her chest, is she a monster?" Sun Weiyuan held his forehead helplessly. "Well, last time I explained to Goku what a flying car is." Now Goku didn't touch Bulma's car, but became curious about Bulma herself. "Goku. That's not her butt on her chest. What is that?" "You'll know when you grow up." Son Goku felt like a Hyuxia parent explaining S**X knowledge to his child. Little Goku stopped asking questions. He reached out and patted his chest, then looked at Bulma's chest and muttered, "Why does my chest look different from hers?" Bulma blushed a little because of the discussion between the two brothers, especially when she saw Sun Weiyuan's handsome and resolute face. Her pretty face seemed to turn even redder, and her eyes were watery and infatuated. "Goku. She is a girl and we are boys, so of course we look different. Do you remember what Grandpa told us about how to treat girls? Sun Weiyuan covered his face and said helplessly to little Goku. Oh. Grandpa said that you have to be gentle with girls. I get it, brother. But Son Goku secretly made a note in his heart that girls have big breasts. Sun Goiwan put down the dinosaur, walked up to Bulma and said, Hello, my name is Sun Goiwan, he is my brother Son Goku, we live in Baizai Mountain all year round, the house on the top of that mountain is my and Goku's home, may I ask who you are? Now it's time for Sun Weiyuan to show off his acting skills. Although he knows everything about Bulma, he still pretends to know nothing. Hello, my name is Bulma, I live in Zidu. Ha ha ha. Little Goku burst into laughter, brother, there's actually someone whose name is no, haha. It's Bulma, not no. Goku scratched his head, aren't they all the same? Sun Weiyuan pretended to think and said, your name is Bulma, may I ask if your father is Dr. Briefs? Do you know my dad, equals. Well, a few years ago I asked Dr. Briefs for help and brought him a universe spaceship. So you're the powerful martial artist my father, talked about. No wonder you can hunt dinosaurs. No, Dr. Briefs, you are too kind. There are many people who are stronger than me. The two chatted more and more happily, and little Goku almost dozed off while watching them. Gurgle I'm so hungry. Big brother, are you guys done chatting? I'm so hungry. Well, Goku, let's go back, otherwise Grandpa will be waiting anxiously. Oh, by the way, is Miss Bulma interested in coming to our house for dinner? I don't feel comfortable doing this. Goiwan, you guys lead the way in front, I'll follow in the car. Bulma happily drove behind. First, she had just had a very happy chat with the handsome son Goiwan. Second, she found that the location of the Dragon Ball was over there. Third, the creatures in this area were somewhat ferocious, and the road could just protect her safety. Fourth, she also wanted to invite Son Goiwan and little Goku to search for the Dragon Ball together. With the protection of two powerful martial artists, they would no longer have to worry about encountering danger in the process of searching for the Dragon Ball. Sun Weiyuan didn't think so much. Bulma and Dr. Briefs both had great scientific minds and would be of great help to him in the future. Who would reject a smart, beautiful, and rich woman for no reason? He may not necessarily marry Bulma in the future, but is that the point? As they got closer to the top of the mountain, Bulma thought to herself, Dragon Ball can't be such a coincidence, right? It's at their house. Grandpa, we are back. Old son Gohan came out of the house and saw Bulma following his two grandchildren. What? Could it be? Then old son Gohan smiled like an auntie. Yes, in the blink of an eye, Gohan is already 15 years old. He has grown up. Maybe in a few years, he will be able to hold his great-grandson. During the meal, old son Gohan was very enthusiastic towards Bulma, and the way he looked at Bulma was almost the same as the way he looked at his grandson's wife. This made Son Goiwan and little Goku look confused. Does it mean that we are not Grandpa's biological children, but Bulma is? Bah, that's not right. Little Goku and I are not Grandpa's biological children. He ignored Goku and me during the whole meal. Chapter 13. On the morning of September 2nd, Son Goku, and Bulma left Baizai Mountain and went together to look for the remaining Dragon Balls. Son Goiwan and little Goku both know the flying technique and can fly very fast. When they take off, Bulma is shocked again, they can actually fly in the sky. Bulma didn't bring a plane, but followed behind on an off-road motorcycle. Brother, she's so slow. Hey, you two wait for me. Sun Weiyuan and the other man stopped in front and waited for Bulma to catch up. After a long while, they saw Bulma catching up, panting. Brother, let's call down the somersault cloud for her to sit on. Little Goku suggested. How can Bulma ride on the somersault cloud? He is not as pure-hearted as us. Yeoki. Jindoyun. Little Goku called out loudly. Bulma asked confusedly, Goku, what are you doing? I'm calling for the somersault cloud. You're too slow. Let the somersault cloud take you flying. Soon a golden cloud flew down from the sky at high speed and stopped in front of little Goku. Bulma, sit on it. Just like Master Roshi, Bulma fell down as soon as she sat on it. She was prepared. Well, it was Sun Weiyuan who was quick-witted and hugged Bulma who was about to fall down. After all, True love also needs a little tricks to keep it. When little Goku saw Bulma fall, he decided that she was a bad kid. Then there was a scene that appeared in many TV dramas. Bulma became crazy in Sun Wei-Yuan's warm embrace. Let me make it clear first that he, Sun Wei-Yuan, has absolutely no bad intentions. He just thinks that Bulma is an earthling and he is also an earthling, and it's good for the family. Hehe, from now on there will be no place for the foreign scion Prince Vegeta. After a night's rest, they continued on their journey the next day. Halfway through the journey, Bulma suddenly stopped to urinate. If Sun Wei-Yuan remembered correctly, that would be another good opportunity for the hero to save the beauty. Not long after, Bulma's voice calling for help was heard. Goku, keep an eye on the things here, I'll be back soon. Tisk tisk tisk, the spring light suddenly appeared, and before I could even pull up my pants, a pterosaur grabbed me and flew me into the air. Sun Wei-Yuan cried out in his heart, oh my god! That is definitely not what I want to see. Flying Technique flew in front of Bulma in an instant and asked very calmly, Bulma, do you need help? Yes, 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 I want it. Bulma was almost crying in anxiety. She even forgot whether she had her pants on properly. Was she still needed to ask in such a dangerous situation? Sun Wei-Yuan flashed and appeared above the pterosaur, and gave it a light blow on the head. The pterosaur received its lunchbox, and its claws holding Bulma loosened, and it fell freely from the sky. Ah, there was a piercing scream, and Sun Wei-Yuan caught Bulma who was falling from the sky. When she was blushing and infatuated, he reminded her, Bulma, you are exposed. The clever little Goku is already preparing to grill the pterosaur. It has been 15 years since Sun Goiwan came to the Dragon Ball world, but he has never traveled around the Earth. This is a good opportunity for him to look for the Dragon Ball and take a good look at the Earth in the Dragon Ball world. The turtle raised by Master Roshi also met the three of them, and Sun Wei-Yuan gave it to little Goku without hesitation. Hello, Mr. Wu Tian, long time no see, do you still remember us? Master Roshi took off his sunglasses and didn't recognize Sun Goiwan. He just felt that the aura was very familiar. When he saw little Goku's unchanged crab head hairstyle, he remembered him and reminisced about the past before getting down to business. Grandpa Master Roshi, little Goku and I are out here to train and search for the Dragon Ball. Can you give us the Dragon Ball around your neck? The two Sun Wei-Yuan brothers had practiced with him for a year, and they were two of the 4 disciples he had accepted in the past few hundred years. Naturally, he did not make things difficult for them, and the idea of seeing Bulma's underwear certainly did not happen. Little Goku, Goiwan, you and Goku are so powerful now that even I can't see through your strength. How did you become so strong? Is the era of my master Roshi over? Little Goku told everything about their training in Kylin Tower and Celestial Temple without hiding anything. Master Roshi sighed, I never thought there was a Celestial Temple above the Kylin Tower. No wonder you two have become so powerful. Bulma on the side was a little confused. What about the immortal Kylin and the gods? How come she, who was so knowledgeable, had never heard of them before? But when she thought about the 7 Dragon Balls that could make her wishes come true, she gradually accepted the existence of immortals and gods. On September 5th, according to the Dragon Ball radar, the 3 came to the village where Wulong turned into a monster to trick the villagers. They discovered that an old woman in the village had an Oceanus Shenron bead, and they agreed to help the village get rid of the monster in exchange for the Oceanus Shenron bead. What Sun Goiwan didn't expect was that although little Goku no longer stepped forward and patted the old woman's legs and asked, "Are you a girl?" as in the original plot. He stepped forward and patted the old woman's chest. "Old lady, you are a girl, right?" Sun Wei-Yuan covered his face, unable to figure out what went wrong. Last time he just told Goku that girls' chests are different from boys', but he didn't expect that he not only remembered it, but also learned to put the theory into practice. Good man, I don't take the blame for this. As soon as Wulong appeared, he was caught by Sun Goiwan. There was no need for little Goku to dress up as a woman. On September 6th, he encountered Yamcha, who was still a bandit. Unfortunately, Goiwan was not interested in his little strength at that time, so he let little Goku play with him. Maybe Yamcha was too weak, so little Goku knocked him out with just one punch. When Goku arrived at Ox-King's village that day, he met Shishi. When he heard that Shishi wanted to ask Master Mutant for help to put out the fire on the Flame Mountain, the kind-hearted Goku agreed to help. On the somersault cloud, little Goku reached out and touched Shishi's chest a few times, and found that it was so small, so he said, "Shishi, you are a boy." Shishi was embarrassed and annoyed and kicked little Goku a few times, but little Goku, who had a combat power of 5,000, didn't feel anything at all. In this confused state, the two of them made a marriage contract. When they went to Kame Island, they didn't find the banana fan to put out the fire, nor did they bring Master Mutant to the Flame Mountain. In the end, it was little Goku who raised the Flame Mountain to the ground with a Kamehameha wave. Ox King, Shishi, Bulma and Yamcha who were watching secretly were so scared that their jaws almost dropped to the ground. Little Goku scratched the back of his head and smiled awkwardly with 2 rows of white teeth showing. It's such a headache. I accidentally used a little too much force. I should have let Big Brother do it earlier. Sun Weiyuan said seriously, it's okay Goku, practice makes perfect, if you practice more in the future, there will be no deviations. Everyone was stunned. What 2 monsters? Was this a matter of using too much strength or practice makes perfect? Such a huge flaming mountain just disappeared in the blink of an eye, is this something a normal person can do? Chapter 14. After the flame mountain was destroyed by Goku, the Naturon Shenron ball was found in the ruins. With only the last Dragon Ball left, he could summon Shenron to make a wish. Xiao Wu and Ash will soon come to steal the Dragon Ball, but how could I let you steal the Dragon Ball? As a time traveler, don't I need to save face? Sun Weiyuan thought secretly. Xiao Wu and Ash are the funny trio of Pilaf. They have been searching for the Dragon Ball, wanting to summon Shenron to make a wish and conquer the world, but unfortunately they have failed again and again. In the end, they accidentally turned into children and lived a decadent life with free food and shelter in Bulma's house. That night, just as Ash and Xiao Wu showed up to steal the Dragon Ball, they were caught by Sun Goiwan. You are here to steal our Dragon Ball, right? Sun Weiyuan asked with a smile, showing his 2 rows of snow-white teeth. The 2 men turned around and ran away after being discovered. They had already witnessed the horror of Sun Weiyuan and his group during the day, so they wanted to steal the Dragon Ball at night. But they didn't expect that their luck was so bad. The plan went bankrupt just as it began. They had to escape. Sun Goiwan watched them run into the woods, and by the time Goku and Bulma realized something was wrong, they had already taken off in the plane. Brother, what happened? Someone's trying to steal our Dragon Ball. Let's go after them. Goku took off immediately after hearing that. Bulma immediately stopped them and said, take me with you, I can't catch up with you without a plane. Then Sun Weiyuan reluctantly hugged Bulma tightly with both hands and took off to catch up. Goku was extremely fast and he caught up with Xiao Wu and Ash's plane first and was about to attack. But he was stopped in time by Sun Goiwan. Brother, aren't we chasing after them to catch them? Little Goku asked in confusion. Goku, don't rush to catch them. Let's follow them and find their lair. Maybe we'll get something unexpected. The last Dragon Ball was in Pilaf's hand, so following him would save him the trouble of looking for it. Fearing that Goku wouldn't understand and would ask again, Sun Goiwan said directly, the fact that they came to us to steal the Dragon Ball means that they not only know the function of the Dragon Ball, but they may also have an instrument similar to the Dragon Ball radar. The last Dragon Ball may be in their hands. Wow! Bro, you're so smart and cunning. Little Goku said in admiration. But Sun Weiyuan was completely upset after hearing this. The first half of the sentence was fine and he felt comfortable with it, but the second half was not suitable. He is such an upright person, it is inappropriate to describe him as cunning, but more like smart. The 3 of them soon came to a castle and saw Xiao Wu and Ash entering the castle. The 3 of them followed in without hesitation. King Pilaf, whose clothes had the word fried rice on them, saw Xiao Wu and Ash and asked, where's Dragon Ball? Xiao Wu's mind worked quickly, and she smiled awkwardly, the Dragon Ball is on the 3 of them. Ash and I led them into the castle. After you activate the mechanism to trap them, we can take the Dragon Ball away. They have 6 Dragon Balls on them. Xiao Wu added. King Pilaf was so excited that he laughed loudly. Xiao Wu, Ash, you did a great job this time. I will definitely reward you greatly after I conquer the world. King Pilaf activated the mechanisms in the castle, but a mechanism with such low attack power could not do anything to Sun Goiwan and Little Goku. The 3 of them passed through all the mechanisms without stopping. King Pilaf's smile froze for a moment, and the next moment he angrily yelled, Xiao Wu, Ash, you 2 fools actually brought the enemy into our castle. I must punish you severely. Ashu, Xiao Wu and the dog hugged each other tremblingly. With a bang, the door to their location was opened by Sun Weiyuan. Sun Weiyuan smiled kindly and said, Hello, Everyone! Where is your Dragon Ball? Witnessing the strength displayed by Sun Goiwan and the others as they passed through the trap, Pilaf suddenly became intimidated and said very politely, please wait a moment, the Dragon Ball will be handed over to you soon. Ash, go and get the Dragon Ball. Sun Goiwan took the Dragon Ball with a smile on his face and said, how can this be so embarrassing? You must have spent a lot of effort to find this Dragon Ball. King Pilaf said very considerately, we are honored to give you the Dragon Ball. As the saying goes, you can't refuse a gift from a friend. From today on, you are my friends. Pilaf didn't understand what he could refuse, but he knew his Dragon Ball was gone, so he forced a smile at Sun Goiwan that was uglier than crying. All 7 Dragon Balls are gathered together. Bulma is extremely excited, little Goku has a dazed expression and doesn't feel much about the 7 Dragon Balls, and Sun Goiwan is a little excited, but that's all. Bulma, do you have any wishes that need to be fulfilled? The excited Bulma calmed down after hearing this. She originally wanted to wish Shenron for a handsome boyfriend. But now, when she looked at the handsome and cool Sun Weiyuan and the sense of security his powerful strength brought her, it seemed that she no longer needed to make a wish. I don't seem to have any wishes that I want to fulfill. Bulma replied with rosy cheeks. Goku, do you want to make a wish? Sun Goiwan asked little Goku. Brother, can you make a wish to Shenron to become stronger? Of course not, Shenron cannot fulfill this wish. Goku, I'm not sure, but you can give it a try. Little Goku stared at the 7 Dragon Balls and asked, what should I do? Do you know? Bulma then spoke up, according to the ancient books I read, after gathering all 7 Dragon Balls, all you have to do is shout come out, Shenron, and then make a wish to Shenron. Come out, Shenron. A long green figure soon appeared in the dark night sky. Bulma, is that Shenron? It's so big and long. The Pilaf trio were already so shocked that they were speechless. Sun Weiyuan looked at the Shenron curiously. Just tell me what you wish for. Shenron, I want to be as strong as my big brother. Just when Bulma and Pilaf thought that Shenron would fulfill Son Goku's wish next, Shenron said, sorry, your wish is beyond my ability and cannot be fulfilled. As expected, Goku scratched the back of his head, turned around and asked, brother, my wish cannot be fulfilled, what should I do next? Oh. Bulma and Pilaf's trio were almost shocked. What? Shenron can grant any wish? Why can't this simple wish be fulfilled? Chapter 15. Son Goku's wish failed, Bulma has no wish to fulfill, but Son Goku still wants to try to see if those ideas can be realized, just in case they succeed. Even if it fails, it can make Goku and others understand that Shenron's ability is very limited, and many problems cannot be too dependent on Dragon Ball. Shenron, please let me have eternal life. Shenron's majestic voice came, your wish cannot be fulfilled. Give me the ability to survive in the vacuum of the universe. Your wish cannot come true. Eliminate the evil enemies who will destroy the peace of the earth in the future. Wishes cannot be fulfilled. Bulma, Pilaf, and the other 2 were stunned. Could it be that they encountered a fake Shenron? Why couldn't any of their wishes come true? Isn't it said that Shenron can fulfill all wishes? Little Goku also whispered, I feel like Shenron is so useless. He couldn't fulfill any of the many wishes he made. Shenron, it's so embarrassing. Sun Weiyuan cleared his throat, I want to have the ability to instantly transmit to anywhere. I'm sorry, the ability you mentioned is beyond the scope of humans. It is a special ability of some high-level gods in the universe. It cannot be realized. But I can input the instant transmission principle and learning method of the Yadetra people in the universe into your memory. This Shenron on Earth is really unreliable. He can't even achieve the instant transmission he wants. Shenron, can't you just let me learn the instant transmission of the Yadetra people? No, the instant transmission of the Yadetra people is also a magical skill. Not everyone can learn the principle of instant transmission. Even if you know the principle, you need the help of the elders of Yadetra to learn it easily. Of course, if you are talented enough, you can learn it with your powerful talent after knowing the principle. Shenron felt that this was the most undignified appearance he had made in the past few hundred years. That's fine too. Shenron's eyes lit up red, and Sun Weiyuan discovered that he had additional memories about the instant transmission of the Yadetra star. Your wish has come true. Shenron disappeared and turned into 7 Dragon Balls that flew in 7 different directions. Sun Goiwan dodged and caught a Dragon Ball that turned into stone. Bulma said confusedly, after Shenron's wish is granted, the Dragon Ball will take a year to recover. Gotoku, you will have to wait a year if you want to make another wish. I don't want to make another wish. This is Grandpa's Nuova Shenron Pearl. I want to take it back to Baizai Mountain. By the way, Bulma, the search for Dragon Ball is over. What are you going to do next? Bulma shook her head. I'm going home to wait for school to start. I don't have any plans. Tomorrow morning, Wei Yuan, can you take me back to Zidu? It will take me a long time to ride back. The next morning, little Goku returned to Baizai Mountain alone, and Sun Wei Yuan flew Bulma back to Zidu. When Sun Wei Yuan took Bulma flying before, he hugged her waist and carried her on his shoulders while flying in front of Bulma's shy gaze. Now she was actively asking whether to carry him or not, and wanted to sit on him and take off. Of course Sun Wei Yuan would not agree. He didn't want to be under a woman. He had to be on top. So Bulma had no choice but to be at the bottom, with Sun Wei Yuan at the top, hugging her face to face and taking off. Wei Yuan, you're so fast, can you slow down? I can't stand it. Sun Wei Yuan sighed, I am indeed too strong. Ordinary people cannot withstand such a fast speed. I haven't even felt much yet, but she can't stand it. After returning to Baizai Mountain, Sun Goiwan saw that little Goku went to the gravity room to train again. It is worth mentioning that little Goku did not practice as crazily as he did on his way to Namek in the original plot. Firstly, he is still young, secondly, he has not experienced any hardships so far, and there is no unsolvable crisis that forces him to push himself to become stronger. Goku, are you going to go and train with Master Roshi? Sun Goiwan asked little Goku for no reason. Brother, didn't Master Roshi say that there is nothing left for us to teach us? Let us practice on our own. Little Goku was confused by the question. Hey! Little Goku, I'm just worried that your true love will be gone. Little bald Krillin will soon go to Master Buton to train. Goku and him have formed a deep friendship since childhood. In the final battle between Goku and Frieza on Namek, Krillin died, and the furious Goku turned into a Super Saiyan. That's why everyone has been saying Krillin is a god with boundless power and Krillin is Goku's true love. Yet. By the way, Goku, did you tell Grandpa about your engagement with Shishi yesterday? Sun Wei Yuan suddenly remembered that after the Flame Mountain was destroyed, Shishi told her father Ox King that she and Goku were getting engaged, and Ox King strongly supported it. An engagement ceremony was held for little Goku and Shishi in the village that day, and little Goku was so happy, that he had a big meal. Engagement? We already had it yesterday. Why do you need to tell Grandpa? Sun Goiwan, I taught Goku a lot of things, but I seem to have forgotten to teach him this. It seems that he treats the engagement as a feast. Forget it, it's impossible to explain it to Goku. Even if Goiwan explains it clearly, little Goku's understanding is very limited. It's better to just let things take their course. Goku, you continue to practice. I'm going to go find Grandpa. Oh. Little Goku walked into the gravity room and started practicing. Grandpa, I have something important to discuss with you. Looking at Son Gohan, who was much taller than him, old Son Gohan smiled and said, Goiwan, if you have anything important to say, sit down and talk slowly. He casually poured a glass of water for Sun Wei Yuan, and took one for himself, drinking slowly. Grandpa, Goku is already engaged. I think we should make plans early so that we can hold a grand and lively wedding for Goku in the future. Puff old Son Gohan spat out the water he had drunk and looked at Sun Goiwan with an expression of disbelief. Doesn't he know what's going on with his own grandson? And Goku is only 12 years old, how could he be engaged? It's unbelievable that little Goku has a girlfriend at such a young age and is even engaged. I didn't expect this. I have been wrong all along. Goku is very talented in martial arts, and he is also gifted in emotional issues between men and women. Sun Wei Yuan, my great-grandson, you have to work harder. Really, .. Look at my sincere eyes. How could I lie to you, Grandpa? I've already eaten at Goku's engagement banquet. Old Son Gohan's face was smiling happily like a blooming old chrysanthemum. Goku, this kid is really something, it really surprised me, haha. I wonder whose girl this is. Sun Wei Yuan kept it a secret. Grandpa, you must know the other person, and you must be very familiar with him. Old Son Gohan is used to his grandson being a little naughty occasionally. Tell me quickly, Grandpa can't guess it. Chapter 16. Old son Gohan is used to his grandson being a little naughty occasionally. Tell me quickly, Grandpa can't guess it. It's your fellow apprentice, Ox King's daughter Shishi. How is it? Are you surprised? I heard that he has a daughter, but I didn't expect that she would be related to Goku. Old son Gohan was very surprised. When Grandpa is free, let's go to Flame Mountain to chat with Ox King and discuss the matter of little Goku and Shishi. Goku is still young and doesn't understand the ways of the world, so I will do this myself and make sure everything is done properly. Oh right, Wei Yuan. Son Wei Yuan was inexplicably panicked when he heard this. Goku is already engaged, and you are Goku's big brother, so you have to hurry up. After living with his grandfather for more than 10 years, he finally realized that his grandfather was quite talkative. The sudden urging of marriage made him a little confused for a while. He still isn't sure whether to seduce Bulma or wait for the gorgeous android number 18 to come out. One is the daughter of the world's richest man, a beautiful woman with both wisdom and figure, and a pair of extremely prominent big white rabbits on her chest. The other is a blonde goddess with strong fighting power and who hardly ages. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages, and it is really difficult to choose. Is it better to be an adult or a child? It's such a headache. On the morning of September 10, 749 AI, Goiwan decided to go to Kame Island to see Krillin, Goku's true love, who had become his apprentice. Goiwan, it's you. Didn't you and Goku go looking for the Dragon Ball? How come you have time to come to my place? Oh haha. Master Roshi looked at the Age magazine without raising his head and said, Son Wei Yuan was speechless. If you really like that, with your status as the god of martial arts, are you afraid that there won't be any young and beautiful ladies willing? What's the point of staring at Age magazine every day? While Sun Wei Yuan was studying and trying out the instant transmission of the Yudra people, he was waiting for the bald little Krillin to come and become his disciple. At some point, a small wooden boat appeared on the sea. Standing on the boat was a smooth and bright Krillin. He jumped from the boat and came in front of Sun Wei Yuan. Without saying a word, he took out a copy of Master Roshi's favorite Age magazine from his arms, presented it with both hands, bowed his head and bowed to Sun Wei Yuan, saying, Master Wu Tian, please accept me as your apprentice. What? Look at my handsome face. How does it look like the old and lustful Master Roshi? Teacher Wu Tian is over there. Sun Wei Yuan was really speechless to Krillin. Oh. I was wondering how Teacher Wu Tian, who has lived for hundreds of years, could still be so young. It turns out I recognized the wrong person. Sorry. It's okay. I am also a disciple of Master Wu Tian. If you can get Master Wu Tian to accept you as a disciple, as a senior brother, I can also consider taking care of you. Sun Wei Yuan said seriously, Go, whether you can become a disciple depends on your ability. Krillin came to Master Roshi happily to become his apprentice. Master Roshi, who originally didn't want to pay attention to him, but when he saw the Age magazine that Krillin presented to him, his eyes lit up and he gave Krillin a chance. Asked Krillin to bring him a cute girl. What surprised Sun Wei Yuan was that without the help of Goku and the Somersault Cloud, Krillin was able to successfully find Lan Chi and bring her to Kame Island. I don't know what crooked idea he used. That night, Lan Chi used puffer fish to cook for Master Roshi and Krillin. As a result, the three of them got food poisoning and had to lie in bed for a whole day before they recovered. On September 14, Master Roshi began to formally teach Krillin to practice. Sun Wei Yuan came over for several days in a row and chatted with Krillin whenever he had nothing to do. Krillin, you are a little bald monk from the Dolan Temple. You must remember that monks cannot get married. Occasionally he would show a little bit of strength, which made him exclaim in amazement, and even asked Krillin to call him senior brother Wei Yuan. Master Wei Yuan, you are so amazing. How did you become so powerful? Without women in mind, practice the natural god. He left without looking back after saying this, leaving Krillin muttering, I have no woman in my heart, I practice as a natural god. As expected of you, you are the eldest senior brother. Your insights into cultivation are truly unique. The next year passed quickly, and Sun Wei Yuan finally learned instant transmission. Ha ha ha, it seems that my martial arts talent is still good. During this year, he went to tell Krillin every few days, Krillin, you are a monk, monks cannot get married, there is no woman in your heart, practice natural god. Krillin, you must abandon the worldly world to become stronger quickly, look how weak you are now. While Krillin's fragile heart suffered one blow after another, he even thought that what his senior brother Sun Wei Yuan said made sense. In the end, When Sun Weiyuan called him a monk, he answered Sun Weiyuan like a conditioned reflex. In response to this, Sun Weiyuan could only say silently, "I'm sorry, Krillin, it's not that I'm not loyal, but the strength of Android 18 is too terrifying, and your strength is too low. I'm afraid that you can't control it and your family status will be in jeopardy." "Big brother," Teacher Wu Tian'o, amazed face, is going to take me to participate in the world's #1 martial arts tournament starting today. Do you want to go?" Krillin suddenly leaned close to Sun Weiyuan's ear and said. Sun Weiyuan was startled and almost thought that Krillin had discovered his little tricks, but it turned out that he just asked about the world's #1 martial arts tournament. "Of course I have to go. It's a rare large-scale gathering of martial artists on Earth. What's the point of practicing in the room all day long? I'll go join in the fun then, and I'll also bring little Goku along." "Little Goku? Is he the second brother Son Goku that senior brother Son Goiwan mentioned? I remember you said he is the same age as me. Is he really as strong as you said, senior brother?" Krillin asked. "Well, let's put it this way, my brother Son Goku can beat 100 current Krillins with one hand." "Big brother, you are going too far. You always use me as a unit to calculate combat effectiveness." Speaking of little Goku, Sun Goiwan is a little confused again. He either stays in the gravity room all day long and never comes out, being even more of a otaku than he was in his previous life, or when he takes him out for a walk, he sees a girl and goes up to her, pats her chest, blinks his innocent big eyes and asks, "Are you a girl?" "Brother, I seem to have learned to distinguish between boys and girls recently." Sun Weiyuan was speechless. How could the lively, cheerful, innocent, and pure little Goku turn into a severe otaku who loved to touch people's chests? "This is definitely not my credit, and I will never admit it even if you kill me. Little Goku's rapidly increasing combat power is my credit." On the morning of May 7th, 750 Aki, "Goku, don't go into the gravity room to practice today. I will take you to the world's #1 martial arts tournament and let you see the style of other martial artists." "Oh, okay. Is this what you always say, brother? Reading 10,000 books is not as good as traveling 10,000 miles. That's right, let me teach you another sentence, traveling thousands of miles is not as good as meeting countless people." Chapter 17. "Big brother, shall we fly over there?" No, just hold on to my shoulders and I'll take you there by instant transmission." Upon hearing this, little Goku placed his hand on Sun Weiyuan's shoulder. Sun Weiyuan put his index and middle fingers of his right hand together and pressed them on his forehead, trying hard to find the aura of Master Wu Tian or Krillin. Since he was not proficient enough in the instant transmission, he had been looking for trouble with Master Buten for a long time, and little Goku was almost impatient waiting. "Okay, hold on tight." Successfully performed instant transmission. "Hey, where is this place, bro? Are we there yet?" At this moment, a woman's shrill scream suddenly sounded in my ears. "Oh my god, that young and beautiful girl is peeing. Don't look at me. Get away. Brother, look, she's not here, brother, where is brother?" Little Goku scratched the back of his head in confusion. Sun Goiwan performed instant transmission and appeared behind Master Muten and Krillin. He breathed a sigh of relief. He still needed to practice instant transmission more. It was a close call. He almost ruined his reputation. "Hope everything is okay with little Goku." "Teacher Wu Tian, Krillin, hello." Sun Weiyuan greeted the two as if nothing had happened. "Goiwan, you're here too. Didn't little Goku come to participate in the World Martial Arts Tournament?" asked Teacher Buten. "Goku. He went to the bathroom. He should be here soon." Sun Goiwan replied. On the other side, the beautiful young girl rushed towards little Goku with her teeth bared. "Are you trying to learn martial arts from me? But you are too weak, and there are too many flaws in your moves." Little Goku gently hit the girl on the back of the head, and the girl fainted on the spot. Other women who were using the toilet also discovered little Goku. Then there was a commotion in the women's restroom. Bags, mirrors, combs, high heels, everything was thrown at Goku, even some underwear was mixed in. "They are so fierce. Why did they beat me when I didn't do anything? It seems that my brother has long seen that they are not easy to deal with, so he left early. I should leave quickly too." Little Goku thought so, and left the women's restroom in a flash, leaving a group of women at a loss. Why did that little kid suddenly disappear? "We won't encounter a ghost." Then they fled the women's restroom in panic. Goku, you're here? Just in time to come with me to sign up for the world's #1 martial arts tournament. After Son Goku, and Krillin all signed up, they discovered that Master Mutant did not participate in the competition like in the original story. Master Roshi, aren't you going to participate in the world's greatest martial arts tournament? I'm old now. The martial arts tournament should be a stage for young people. I'll just watch you guys compete from the sidelines. I won't participate. Master Roshi's mind was as clear as a mirror. With you and Goku participating, what's the point of me winning the championship? It's time for the era of Master Roshi, the god of martial arts, to end. During the preliminaries, Sun Weiyuan always solved his opponents with one move. He blew his opponent away. When the referee was commenting, he said, Sun Weiyuan is so arrogant, he blew times out of the court with one move. Sun Weiyuan won. Krillin and Goku also easily entered the top 16, and the match changed venues. Bulma looked at the crowd in front of the ring and couldn't squeeze through at all. The blue-haired Lan Chi was right next to her. She had visited Sun Goiwan many times in the past year and naturally got to know Lan Chi and Krillin. Take a strand of blue-haired Ranch's hair and put it on Ranch's nose. Ha! The gentle blue-haired Ranch turned into the grumpy blonde Ranch. I don't know where the blonde Lan Chi took out a machine gun from, and pointed the muzzle towards the sky. Da-da-da. If you don't want to die, get out of my way. A wide road soon appeared in the dense crowd. Goiwan, little Goku, Krillin, and the perverted old man, you're all here. Little Goku had sharp eyes, pointed in a direction and said, Look, big brother, isn't that the guy we defeated in the desert last year? He seems to be called Yamcha. Sun Weiyuan looked in the direction Goku pointed and saw Yamcha. Since they had rarely met, he had not paid attention to sensing Yamcha's breath, so he didn't notice it until now. They did not meet each other in the quarterfinals and all advanced to the top 8 successfully. Krillin did meet his senior brother who bullied him in Dolan Temple, but unfortunately, the nervous Krillin kicked him off the stage without any strength. Sun Weiyuan's opponent was blown out of the ring in one breath. The very dedicated referee said excitedly, it appeared. Sun Weiyuan's breath trick once again defeated his opponent in an unstoppable posture. Sun Weiyuan won. Those who made it to the top 8 are Son Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, Lan Fang, Barbarian, Namu, and Monster Kiramai. The first match is Krillin vs Barbarian. As soon as the fight started, the Barbarian's momentum overwhelmed the entire arena. From Krillin and the referee on the competition stage to the entire audience, everyone was affected by the Barbarian's domineering aura. Some of the audience members even fainted on the spot with foam at the mouth. The referee quickly put on his gas mask. Fortunately, Krillin had no nose, otherwise he might not be able to withstand the Barbarian's special skills, saliva, farts, and a black unknown weapon taken out from his crotch. The second match was between Yamcha and Lan Fang. Lan Fang was a beauty, but the appearance of Sun Weiyuan did not solve Yamcha's weakness of being afraid of women. Lan Fang threw a wink at Yamcha, puffed out her chest, and flicked her hair. Yamcha's face turned red as blood. Finally, Lan Fang blew him a kiss, and Yamcha was kicked out of the ring easily and happily without any resistance. The third match was the fateful duel between Goku Jr. and Namu, but unfortunately Goku was too strong now. Namu didn't even have the chance to use his ultimate move Sky Cross before he was knocked out by Goku Jr. in one move. The defeated Nanmyo cried bitterly on the spot, with tears streaming down his face. In the end, it was Master Wu Tian who took pity on him and gave him a universal capsule. He then took him to a well to fetch water and brought it back to give to his people who were short of water in the desert. The fourth match is between Sun Weiyuan and Monster Kiramai. The referee, will Sun Weiyuan continue to use his special breath attack as usual, and will Monster Kiramai be able to withstand it? The match is about to begin, let's wait and see. Games start. Sun Weiyuan yawned and blew a breath at his opponent, and the Monster Kiramai was blown into the sky. Our Sun Goiwan used his ultimate breath to blow his opponent away again. Is Monster Kiramai going to fail? No, that's, Monster Kiramai actually spread his wings behind him and flew into the sky. It seems that our Sun Weiyuan player is finally going to meet his strongest opponent since the beginning of the competition. His special move was restrained by the Monster Kiramai player. What kind of counterattack will he launch next? The referee's voice suddenly stopped, and Sun Weiyuan appeared behind the Monster Kiramai in a flash, knocking the Monster Kiramai unconscious with a blow to his head. That's amazing. Sun Weiyuan is so fast that I couldn't see what happened just now. He even has a special move called flying. Sun Weiyuan wins. Chapter 18. Except for those who knew Sun Weiyuan, the entire audience area exclaimed. Little Goku said in confusion, "Isn't flying a simple thing? You can fly as long as you learn the flying technique. I don't understand why they are so surprised." Krillin's little bald head was sweating as he explained, "They are not martial artists, they are just ordinary people. And even martial artists may not be able to learn the flying technique." He was the martial artist who didn't know the flying technique, and he had never seen his teacher Wu Tian use the flying technique. The top 4 candidates have been determined: Son Goku, Sun Goiwan, Krillin, and Lan Fang. The first match of the semi-finals is between Goku and Krillin, and the second match is between Sun Goiwan and Lan Fang. There was a break after the semi-finals, and Bulma suddenly said to Sun Weiyuan, "Weiyuan, when you fight Lan Fang later, don't be like that guy called Cha, don't show mercy." Yam Sha was shot even when he was lying down. In Sun Weiyuan's opinion, Bulma was just overthinking. The girl named Lan Fang was not worthy of his attention in terms of strength, figure, temperament, or background. Alas! If he didn't show mercy, Sun Weiyuan was afraid that Lan Fang would be wiped out. He nodded to indicate that he understood, and the match between little Goku and Krillin would begin soon. As soon as Krillin came on the field, he said to little Goku, "Senior brother Gozen told me, Goku, you can beat 100 of me with one hand, but I don't believe you are that strong, unless you fight me with just one hand." Krillin during this period of time had more crooked ideas and wanted to take advantage of little Goku right away. Little Goku blinked his big innocent eyes and said, "Brother, what I said is true. I am not lying to you. If you want me to give you a hand, then I will fight you with one hand." Krillin was overjoyed, "You're ready, I'm going to start." He got into position and disappeared the next moment. The referee explained excitedly, "Krillin is very strong, and his speed is so fast that it is difficult to catch with the naked eye. What method will Son Goku use to deal with it next? Let us wait and see." "It's amazing." Son Goku hit Krillin's forehead accurately with a punch. "What happened just now? Let's interview Son Goku." "Son Goku, what just happened?" "I punched Krillin." "Can you briefly describe the specific process?" "I threw a punch and it hit Krillin on the forehead." The referee laughed awkwardly and said, "It seems that our Son Goku is quite humorous. I heard that Son Goku is Goku's elder brother." "Son Goku, you can't. It seems that Son Goku is very cool." "Krillin is down, now we're counting down, 10, 9, 1, Son Goku wins." At the start of the second match, Lan Fang wanted to use the honey trap like she did against Yamcha, but Sun Weiyuan didn't bother to say anything and slapped her away, causing her to fall off the ring and faint. "Referee, yes, everyone is right." Sun Weiyuan defeated his opponent with one move again. It is hard to imagine how much strength he has yet to show. As soon as they got to the ring, Bulma's love-crazy disease came back. She wanted to empty him in public. Sun Weiyuan certainly wouldn't let her succeed so easily. He didn't avoid Bulma's hug, but he held her forehead to prevent her from getting close to his face. Krillin saw Sun Weiyuan slap the beautiful Lan Fang and reject the kiss of the beautiful Bulma, and his admiration for his senior brother increased a little more. As expected, he is worthy of being senior brother Weiyuan, who has grasped the essence of no woman in mind, practiced to become a natural god. If it were me, I might have fallen. Krillin, your practice is not yet up to par, you need to learn more from senior brother Weiyuan. The last match is the final between the two brothers, Sun Goiwan and little Goku. Goku's warlike blood is aroused and he is eager to try. Referee, the exciting moment is about to come. According to gossip, the contestants Son Goku and Son Goku who are preparing for the finals are brothers. The champion and runner-up will be decided between them. The audience's emotions exploded at once, and the sound at the scene was like a landslide and a tsunami. "Brother, they are so noisy. It's not like they are competing with you, so why do they seem more excited than me?" "Goku, they are ordinary people and cannot be viewed with normal eyes. Anyway, you will understand it slowly in the future. Audience, you are the ones who cannot see this with normal eyes. Yet, I can finally fight with you again, big brother. Ever since we started training in the gravity room, you haven't practiced or fought with me. Now we can have a good fight again, and let you see the results of my training for so long." At the beginning of the match, Sun Weiyuan and Son Goku engaged in the most basic punch and kick fight, and most of the special moves they knew were the same, and as the fight progressed, the intensity gradually increased. They first played rock paper scissors and drunken boxing. There were loud noises coming from the ring, but the audience could not see how the two men were fighting. Not to mention ordinary people like them, even Master Wu Tian and Krillin gradually couldn't see clearly what was going on between the two. Krillin was very surprised and said, "So the gap between me and my brothers is so big? It's okay that senior brother Goiwan is strong, but I didn't expect Goku to be so strong too. It's not like he can beat 100 Krillins with one hand, beating 1,000 is not a problem. It seems that senior brother Goiwan didn't exaggerate to provoke me before, but instead downplayed it for my feelings." Teacher Wu Tian's forehead was also sweating. Unknowingly, Son Goiwan and little Goku's strength has surpassed me by so much. I thought they were only 1 or 2 times stronger than me. How big is the difference between a strength difference of 1 or 2 times? Take Tao Pai Pai and General Blue of the Red Ribbon Army as an example. Blue's combat power is 60 and he has superpowers. Tao Pai Pai's combat power is 120 and his special move is the whole wave. The difference between the two is only twice as strong, but Tao Pai Pai can easily kill General Blue with his tongue. The referee was also confused for a moment and couldn't see anything. How should I explain it? It's amazing. Both Son Goku and Son Goku used their special move super speed at the same time. They fought back and forth on the ring and it was hard to tell who was better. After Image Fist, X2 it's so surprising. Suddenly, there are so many Son Goku and Son Wei Yuan players on the stage. Can they use clones to perform special moves? The two of them reappeared on the stage. Are they taking a break or planning a special move? Brother, show me all your strength. I want to see how big the gap between you and me is. Little Goku's face was more serious than ever. My lovely and innocent little brother, have you also discovered the ocean? That is the water I, as your elder brother, put in there for you, so as not to dampen your enthusiasm for cultivation. Okay, let's just use Kamehameha to decide the outcome. Son Wei Yuan felt that they had been fighting for so long and there was not much point in fighting any further. As soon as Goku finished speaking, he was about to gather a Kamehameha, but Son Goiwan quickly spoke up to stop him. Goku, let's go to the sky. It's easy to affect ordinary people in the ring. Chapter 19. Little Goku nodded and followed Son Goiwan into the sky. The referee looked up with sunglasses on. Contestants Son Wei Yuan and Son Goku flew into the sky and flew higher and higher. Just now they mentioned that they were worried that we would be affected. I wonder what kind of earth-shattering tricks they will use in the battle. Turtle-style Kung Fu wave. ×2, it appeared. It turned out to be the ultimate move created by the legendary martial arts god Take Nori, the Kamehameha wave. The two ultimate moves collided in the sky, releasing a dazzling light. The light was so blinding that everyone had difficulty opening their eyes. What kind of unusual relationship do the two powerful players have with Take Nori? Let's interview their teammate Krillin. The referee handed the microphone to Krillin, and Krillin said politely, "They are my senior brothers, and they have all received instruction from teacher Wu Tian." Krillin crossed his hands in front of his chest and said proudly, "It's really shocking. Son Goku and Son Goku are not only brothers, but they are also from the same martial arts school and worship the god of martial arts, Master Wu Tian." Two blue ki blasts continued to collide in the sky. Son Wei Yuan had always heard that he could not fight against members of the Sun family, or he would lose, but he just didn't believe it. He believed it, he had to believe it. His last name was Sun, and he didn't know which netizen had such a sharp eye that he discovered the fact hidden deep inside. His ki blast pushed across the center line, gradually compressing little Goku's ki blast. Little Goku yelled aha. After pushing him back and forth many times, I guess little Goku's energy is almost exhausted. Unexpectedly, Goku yelled again, and his ki blast suddenly increased. Son Goiwan had to increase his power output carefully, worried that Goku would suddenly run out of strength and hurt him with his ki blast. Little Goku suddenly smiled happily and said, "Brother, you are still so strong." Then he lost all his power, and ki blast stopped when he said stop. Shit! Son Goiwan swore for once. Little Goku's strength was gone in an instant. Fortunately, he was smart and realized something was wrong immediately. Before the ki blast could hit little Goku, he quickly turned and shot towards the sky. The little Goku who lost his power also free fell from the sky. Son Goiwan flashed under the little Goku and caught him, then slowly landed on the ring. The referee excitedly explained, the two contestants had a wonderful duel in the sky. In the end, contestant Son Goku was slightly defeated and fainted due to exhaustion. The champion of this world #1 martial arts tournament is, contestant Son Goku. After the World Martial Arts Tournament, Son Gohan asked Bulma for the Dragon Ball radar. His purpose was not to find the Dragon Ball, but to find a pirate's treasure where a Dragon Ball was. Who made him so poor? He doesn't even have the money to build a big villa. Besides, Goku doesn't know how to take care of his family. In the future, his wife Shishi and he will live in poverty. Originally, Ox King also had a lot of wealth, but when little Goku was putting out the fire on Flame Mountain, the entire Flame Mountain was destroyed, and the castle on the mountain and the treasures inside the castle were also gone. In the end, the strongest man on earth had to farm to make a living. Shishi completely believed that practicing martial arts had no future, and forced his son Gohan, who had a very high martial arts talent, to become a scholar, which made Sun Weiyuan, who was in front of the screen at the time, feel regretful for a while. Brother, didn't we look for Shenron last time? If Shenron can't fulfill your wish, why are we still looking for a dragon? Little Goku expressed his incomprehension. Brother, what do you think of our family's conditions? Sun Weiyuan said earnestly. Very good, Grandpa is very good, and Big Brother is also very good. Look, we're growing up, but the three of us, grandparents and grandchildren, have to live in a small house. Goku, don't you have any ideas? Sun Weiyuan continued to guide. Oh, brother, you want to? Yes, it's just what you think. Goku, are you finally getting the point? I, your big brother, have taught you for more than a decade. Brother, do you really want to move in with Bulma and sleep with Bulma? After hearing what little Goku said, he almost burst out with AF***CK. What the hell? When did Goku say something so shocking? You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. I never said that. Goku, you've become a bad person. I'm not making it up. I heard my eldest brother say that I was going to live with Bulma when I got up to P one night. He also said that he would provide food and accommodation and have long legs. You didn't explain it clearly. JFEI, it turned out that little Goku heard me talking in my sleep. I was wondering why Goku said those words for no reason. After failing to guide Goku to take care of his family, he had to ask little Goku to keep it a secret for the time being and not tell anyone, otherwise he felt that his personality would collapse. According to the Dragon Ball radar, Son Gohan chose a Dragon Ball in the sea to search for it in the early stage. After some effort, he finally found the cave where the pirates hid the treasure. He successfully found a pile of boxes filled with gold, silver, and jewelry, as well as pirate skeletons. If I remember correctly, these are only part of the pirates' treasures. Most of them are hidden in the huge statue over there. Put all the boxes full of treasures and statues into a universal capsule. With such a large amount of treasure, it shouldn't be a problem to build a few large villas. When Goku gets married, give him half of it, so that Shishi won't let Goku practice and farm instead. Also, remind Goku to bring back as many gems as he sees on other planets in the universe for Shishi. One day, Sun Weiyuan discovered that the Red Ribbon Army was heading towards Baizai Mountain, and he guessed the reason. It's nothing but Dragon Ball. He has 2 Dragon Balls in his hand. The Red Ribbon Army has already collected the other 5 Dragon Balls, leaving only the 2 Dragon Balls in his hand to complete the collection. Of course, this was also intentional on his part. Little Goku isn't even looking for the Dragon Ball now. How can the Red Ribbon Corps, who don't have the Dragon Ball, meet little Goku? They were just robbing, so how could Son Gohan have any reason to let Goku destroy the Red Ribbon Army? How could Dr. Gallo, who hated little Goku so much, conduct experiments on artificial humans? How could Android 18 come out smoothly? Well, number 18 is not the point. The point is that the Red Ribbon Army is a disaster to the world, doing all kinds of evil, and everyone has the right to punish them. Yes, that's right. It's definitely not because I like No 18's beauty. It's because of my righteousness that I feel dissatisfied with the Red Ribbon Army. The righteous little figure in my mind, is that what you call liking? You're just coveting her body. Goku, stop practicing for now and come out quickly. Some guests are coming to our Baizai soon. Go and receive them well later. Sun Weiyuan pressed the switch of the gravity training room and let little Goku come out. What guest? Is Miss Bulma coming? Little Goku asked in a naive manner. No, Bulma, you come out and entertain them well later, remember. Sun Weiyuan said earnestly. I don't know how to receive guests. Big brother, you should go. Chapter 20. I don't know how to receive guests, brother, you should go, I want to practice. No, Goku, you are not a child anymore. You are 13 years old this year. You are a big boy and you should learn the ways of the world. If they dare to ask you for excessive demands or attack you, you can fight back. If anything goes wrong, I will take care of you. Sun Wei Yuan, I don't know how unkind people are. An accident is bound to happen soon. Then, under his persuasion, little Goku waited for the arrival of the Red Ribbon Army at the foot of Baizai Mountain. Soon, little Goku saw General Blue and a group of his brothers driving tanks to the foot of the mountain. Report to the general, a little ghost was found at the foot of the mountain ahead. What do you mean by such a small thing? General, we haven't found anyone else around here. So far, we've only seen this little imp, and the 2 Dragon Balls were placed together. I guess someone accidentally picked up 2 Dragon Balls, and that little imp may have the whereabouts of the Dragon Ball. Oh. Your analysis makes sense. What are you waiting for? Catch that kid and torture him to find out the whereabouts of Dragon Ball. General Blue said in a calm tone. Yes, General. When little Goku saw someone walking towards him, he was about to politely ask if it was a visitor, but he saw a fist as big as a casserole hitting him. After dodging the others, little Goku said, "What are you doing? If you start to fight me again, I'm going to fight back." His brother said that he can fight back if someone attacks him, and his brother will take responsibility if anything goes wrong. These people in front of him don't look like good people. You actually dodged it, you lucky kid, but your luck ends here. Be gentle and don't kill him. The general will have to ask him about the whereabouts of Dragon Ball later. Don't worry, I know my limits. Then he threw another punch at Son Goku, but a small hand caught his punch steadily. What? How could a tiny thing like you possibly catch my punch? You guys are here to steal Big Brother's Dragon Ball, so I won't be polite. A group of shrimp soldiers and crab generals fell to the ground without even seeing the figure of little Goku. Seeing that the situation was not good, a soldier quickly reported to General Blue. Kid, you're the one who defeated so many of my men. Tell me where the Dragon Ball is. Then you might consider being gentler when I kill you later. General Blue looked at the tiny Goku with contempt and said naturally. Who are you? Asked little Goku. Listen carefully, little kid. I am one of the high-ranking officials of the world-famous Red Ribbon Army. General Blue. What do you think? Are you scared? General Blue proudly introduced his home address. Never heard of it. Little Goku answered sincerely. General Blue got angry all of a sudden. You are so ignorant, you don't even know the famous General Blue. Also, why would I argue with a little kid? Tell me, where is Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball? It's with my big brother. Even when facing the enemy's question, little Goku still answered sincerely. You're smart. Where is your elder brother? Yeah, he's on the mountain. Little Goku pointed to his house on the top of the mountain. General Blue laughed strangely, ha ha ha, you are such a brainless brat. Now that you already know the whereabouts of Dragon Ball, there is no value in you living. You who dare to attack my Red Ribbon Army, go to hell, you stupid brat. Then General Blue used his proud superpowers on little Goku. You can't move. Hee, die. A palm blade slashed towards Goku's neck, and an index finger was raised to block General Blue's attack. You can actually move, it's impossible, how could my superpowers be ineffective on you? Just now, there was a very weak force trying to restrain me. Is that your superpower? It's so weak. Little Goku told the truth. Go to hell, die, die. General Blue attacked Goku frantically, but all of them were caught by Sun Goiwan. Little Goku yawned, and with a casual punch, he knocked General Blue into the sky and disappeared. Then he returned to Baizai Mountain and told Sun Goiwan about the situation. It's okay, it turned out to be an evil guest. Goku, you did a great job. If you want to practice, go ahead and practice. I'll call you when it's time to eat. Since little Goku didn't kill them, some soldiers of the Red Ribbon Army regained consciousness and immediately reported the situation to the headquarters. So the Marshal of the Red Ribbon Army, General Red, and the Black Adjutant Black spent a lot of money to hire the world's #1 killer, Tao Pai Pai, to deal with Son Goku and take away the remaining 2 Dragon Balls. Then Tao Bibai performed a classic pillar flying and flew to Baizai Mountain at high speed. Sun Goiwan, who was absorbing energy, sensed a breath approaching quickly and said to himself, this should be the Tao Pai Pai who claims to be the world's #1 killer. I didn't expect Goku to not even look for the second round of Dragon Ball, but you were invited by the Red Ribbon Army. It must be God's will. As the saying goes, a gift of a head from 1,000 miles away is more valuable than a token of love. Goku, don't practice yet. Someone will come to fight you soon. After you finish fighting, go practice. Remember, the other party is not a good person, so don't show mercy. Ah? Why is there another person here? Tao Bibai Mizu Shiro landed smoothly, and after seeing Son Goku, he asked, Kid, you are the one who defeated General Blue of the Red Ribbon Army. I defeated him. Then the Dragon Ball is in your hands. Hand it over so that I can kill you faster. You should know that my killing fee is very expensive. It is your honor to die at the hands of Tao Pai Pai, the world's #1 killer. I know, you are in the same group as the previous group of people. You are the bad guy. Big brother said I will not show mercy to you. Little Goku said seriously, and then revealed a little of his aura. Tao Bibai, who was originally standing with his hands behind his back, felt the pressure of this breath and broke out in a sweat. He was so strong. He was so powerful at such a young age. Who taught him that? When Goku was about to attack him, Tao Pai Pai knelt down and begged for mercy. Goku, who was as innocent as a blank sheet of paper, was at a loss for what to do. A bomb was thrown at Goku, and at the same time Tao Pai Pai jumped away from the ground with all his strength. Ha ha ha, idiot, you are so easily fooled. Even if you are powerful, you can't remain intact under the explosion of my high-powered bomb. You are still too young, kid. Tao Pai Pai was extremely proud, and little Goku kicked the bomb before it exploded and flew it in front of Tao Pai Pai. Tao Bibai was so scared that his soul almost flew out of his body. Bang! With a loud bang, Tao Bibai's figure disappeared into the air. Chapter 21. Sun Weiyuan was sitting on the top of the mountain, drinking tea leisurely, and couldn't help but sigh. Although it's not the same time and place, the scene happening in front of me really makes me feel intimate and familiar. I didn't recognize Tao Bibai at first glance, but after looking at it again, she has become a character in the play. Oh my, it's me after all, I seem to be more literary, hee. Brother, I defeated the bad guy. If nothing else, I will go to the gravity room to practice. Hey asterisk, dear brother, wait a minute, have you heard of this saying, you can do it once, you can do it again, but not 3 times. I don't understand. Look, that bad organization called the Red Ribbon Army has come to trouble us twice. When they find out that they have failed this time, they will definitely continue to trouble us. What do you think I should do? Sun Weiyuan's meaning was already very clear. This is such a headache. Big brother, just tell me what to do. Little Goku scratched the back of his head out of habit. Sun Weiyuan sighed and thought to himself, it seems that the only thing I can change about Goku is his combat power. It would be great if I can't be influenced by him in my personality. Of course we have to eliminate all the evil and take the initiative. They are a group of bad guys who only want to rule the world and treat the lives of ordinary people as worthless. And Goku, it's not good for you to practice in the gravity room all day. Too much is as bad as too little. Relaxation and tension are the way of civil and martial arts. So, I will give you this easy and simple task of destroying the Red Ribbon Army. Don't pay too much attention to the soldiers. The others can destroy them all. Do you understand? Little Goku couldn't understand most of what Sun Goiwan said, but he understood the latter part. Since the big brother wanted him to beat the bad guys, he had no problem with that. He nodded to show that he understood. Well, not bad, although he failed to change Goku's personality, it was worth his teaching to improve his Hyuxia reading comprehension ability. Well, take your Dragon Ball radar with you and come back quickly. Big brother will cook something delicious for you. What do you want to eat? Little Goku drooled and said, I want to eat braised pork and spicy strips. No problem. The braised pork is made from a large wild boar meat from Baizai Mountain. The spicy strips are not the kind made of flour, but are made from the dragon tendons of dinosaurs from Baizai Mountain, combined with chili oil and other seasonings. At the Red Ribbon Army headquarters, General Blue, who was knocked away by Little Goku, also appeared there, and the Red Ribbon Army's Marshal Red and Black Adjutant Black learned the news of Tao Pai Pai's failure. General Reed was furious. What a bunch of rubbish. How on earth do you train your soldiers? They can't even deal with a little devil. And that Tao Bibai you found, who is known as the world's #1 killer, is also a rubbish. We spent 100 million to hire him, but when he saw that little devil, he didn't even dare to fart and knelt down to beg for mercy. In the end, he was half dead by the bomb he threw. Dr. Gallo is more reliable. Yes, Tao Bibai's situation at the foot of Bayazai Mountain was detected by Dr. Gallo's micro-robot, and the dying Tao Bibai was also being transported to his laboratory. Dr. Gallo said excitedly in the laboratory, "The body of a powerful martial artist is a very rare experimental material. My artificial human project can also proceed to the next stage of experiment." He suddenly thought of android number 8, and his face turned a little dark. He really couldn't understand why android number 8, the first successful android he created with mechanical transformation, was so powerful enough. However, his personality is simple, peace-loving, and he doesn't like fighting, which made him think that android 8 is also a failure. Little Goku came to the outside of the Red Ribbon Army headquarters. He remembered his older brother telling him to be polite. He was not sure if the one he found was the Red Ribbon Army. So he asked a soldier in charge of the Red Ribbon Army, "Hello, uncle, is this the headquarters of the Red Ribbon Army?" The soldier laughed and said to the soldiers next to him, "Did you hear that? This kid is here to ask about our Legion headquarters. This is the headquarters of the Red Ribbon Legion. Who do you want to find? It's quite boring to stay at the post all the time. It's rare that a kid who doesn't know how to live or die comes to their door, and they want to tease him and then kill him. You've found the right place. Hey, you guys should leave now. I want to destroy the Red Ribbon Army headquarters." The laughter stopped abruptly, and he turned angrily and said, "Where did this ignorant little devil come from? Shoot him into a honeycomb." Da-da-da. The scene on Goku's side was also seen by General Red and others through the surveillance. "It's the kid who defeated the killer Tao Pai Pai. He actually dared to come to our door. Go kill him for me. Blue, go to the scene and command the soldiers." General Blue replied with a pale face, "Yes, Marshal." "Brack, are those 2 Dragon Balls on him?" Black Lieutenant Black checked their giant Dragon Ball detector and saw that the 2 Dragon Balls had not moved, and replied, "The Dragon Ball is not on him. It should still be hidden on the mountain where he was found before." General Red said regretfully, "What a pity. It would be great if the Dragon Ball was on him. Then if I kill him, I can get all 7 Dragon Balls and make a wish to be taller." Black Lieutenant Black couldn't believe his ears. "Marshal, what did you say? After all the Dragon Balls are collected, they will be used to make a wish for you to be taller." "Brack, don't be surprised. My plan since the beginning of my search for Dragon Ball was to become taller." "You must be kidding. We spent a lot of manpower and resources, and went through so much trouble to find Dragon Ball just to make you taller? What about our desire to rule the world?" "Shut up, Blake, what do you know? Ruling the world will be accomplished sooner or later as long as you spend enough time doing it. The only thing I can't change is my height. I've been laughed at for being short since I was a child. Do you understand how I feel when I'm short?" Black argued that he really couldn't accept that the marshal he wholeheartedly assisted placed height more important than ruling the world. "You idiot, how can you please a beautiful woman without a tall and mighty figure?" Black had given up hope. With a bang, a gunshot hit Red right between the eyebrows. "You are not worthy of being the commander of the Red Ribbon Army. From now on, I will lead the Red Ribbon Army to rule the world." On the other side, little Goku was defeating the Red Ribbon soldiers with unstoppable force. Many soldiers fled for their lives. This was of course the result of his showing mercy. Goku is still the same Goku. As long as something is not too extreme, he generally won't kill. "See you again, General Lu." "Idiot, I'm General Blue of the Red Ribbon Army, not General Lu something." "Sorry. You are very weak, you'd better run away quickly. Tell the Red Ribbon Army not to do bad things anymore," little Goku advised seriously. "What a joke. I, General Blue, would be afraid of a brat like you leaving the Red Ribbon Army." Little Goku seemed to suddenly remember something his big brother had taught him, and then he raised his right hand and sent out a blue ki blast that blew away a mountain in the distance. General Blue's eyes bulged out, and he stammered. "I'm afraid that you, little hero, will leave the Red Ribbon Army. That's fine. I will definitely listen to you and change my ways in the future. I won't do bad things and help the old lady cross the road." Chapter 22. Seeing Blue's hasty escape, little Goku said happily, "Brother is so awesome, this method is really useful." He took out the Dragon Ball radar and checked it. according to what Big Brother said, the Red Ribbon Army, the leader of the bad guy group, is ahead. As long as I defeat them, I can go back to Baizai Mountain to eat the braised pork and spicy strips made by Big Brother. Little Goku didn't encounter any resistance along the way. When the soldiers of the Red Ribbon Army saw Goku, they ran for their lives as if they had seen an extremely terrifying demon. When he arrived at the command room of the headquarters, he saw the bodies of Black Adjutant Black and former Commander Red lying on the floor. Are you the leader of this group of bad guys? Little Goku asked the Black Lieutenant. Instead of answering directly, Adjutant Black invited Sun Weiyuan to join the Red Ribbon Army. You have such a strong strength, it would be a pity if you don't join us. I am willing to give up my position as Commander-in-Chief and assist you in conquering and ruling the world. It seems you are right. Little Goku didn't attack directly, but told the Black Lieutenant that he was ready to attack. You don't know how to appreciate my kindness, bang. Black fired from his pocket again like he did when he attacked General Reed. The next moment he saw the bullet being caught by Little Goku. Well, it's my turn to attack you. Please wait a moment. Goku really stopped his attacking action, and then looked at Black, who shouted pause in confusion. The other party quickly got into a robot. Stupid kid, go to hell. With the mecha in his hand, Black felt like he owned the world. He controlled the robot and punched Goku straight on the forehead. Little Goku raised his hand to catch the huge mechanical fist and said, I don't want to play with you anymore. I want to go home and eat. He raised his other hand and casually threw out a ki blast, which blasted Black into ashes in fear. However, the power of the ki blast remained undiminished, and it flattened a mountain in the distance. Mission accomplished, I can go home and eat now. Oh, and bring the Dragon Ball back too, my brother seems to be quite interested in Shenron. In an underground laboratory somewhere in the north, Dr. Gerald looked at Son Goku destroying the Red Ribbon headquarters with hatred. Son Goku, I'll remember you. The Red Ribbon Army was destroyed, and he lost the support of huge resources. The progress of the next experiment will be greatly slowed down. On the Bun Mountain, brother, I'm back. Are the braised pork and spicy strips ready? The braised pork is ready. Wait a minute for the spicy strips. They need more time to absorb the flavor. Oh, Goku, did you go search the Red Ribbon Corps' treasury? Did you take the money out? No, I came back after the fight, hehe. Such a large army must have a lot of wealth. Sun Weiyuan felt it would be a pity if he didn't take it back to supplement the family income. Alas, Goku, you seem so free and easy now, but I wonder what you will do when your wife urges you to go to work and earn money to support the family. Brother, I've completely adapted to 50 times gravity. Is there a gravity with a higher multiple? No. If we want to increase the gravity, we can only go to Bulma's house again to ask Dr. Briefs for help. Seeing little Goku's expectant eyes, Sun Goiwan decided to use instant transmission to go to Bulma's house. Bulma's scent was too weak, so it was difficult for me to find her. Now I have found her. Sun Weiyuan instantly appeared next to Bulma. Wow, so white, so magnificent, so tall. Steam was pouring out of his nostrils. He screamed, ah, and a piece of soap hit his forehead. Only then did he come to his senses and reluctantly leave the bathroom. Wu Yuan, you big pervert. Then he spent a long time and even agreed to accompany her shopping before Bulma let him go. After all, Sun Weiyuan was the boyfriend she liked. What could she do? Of course she chose to forgive him because he was so handsome. All of this was discovered by the Briefs couple at home. Sun Weiyuan felt that he must be very red-faced at this moment, as he was so thin-skinned. Mrs. Briefs went forward enthusiastically and hugged Sun Weiyuan's arm, but was pulled away by Bulma, who came out hurriedly putting on her clothes. Ah! Our Bulma is angry. Mrs. Briefs said with a smile, when will you give us a little grandchild? Bulma's face turned red all of a sudden, and Sun Weiyuan didn't feel too uncomfortable except for being a little embarrassed. Wu Yuan, what do you want? Was I being that obvious? Well, I was the one who went to Baizai Mountain to find you before. If there was nothing going on, it would not be so easy for you to come to me. Bulma said with some resentment. Isn't there anything I can do about it? I'm afraid you can't stand the loneliness and take me down. If that happens, our kids might just be there to watch the show, and it would be twice as difficult to flirt with Android 18. Sun Weiyuan had no choice but to tell the purpose of his visit. It would be even better if the gravity of the gravity room could be increased to 300 times. Dr. Briefs asked, can you withstand such a high gravity? Based on the current training progress, it will probably not take many years to adapt. Sun Weiyuan said without much certainty. He also didn't know if little Goku would suddenly get ruthless one day and use self-mutilation training to quickly adapt to the high gravity. You martial artists are truly terrifying. Dr. Briefs said, without much surprise on his face. He is indeed a scientific expert who can face death calmly. Weiyuan, you are already the strongest person in the world. Do you still need to practice to become stronger? Bulma asked in confusion. At this time, she had not encountered any crisis, and no powerful enemies had appeared on the earth. She didn't quite understand why the Sun Weiyuan brothers were so persistent in practicing to become stronger. Raise your troops for 1,000 days and deploy them for a moment. Practice to become stronger so you can be prepared for emergencies. It can also strengthen your body. Who knows, maybe one day you can become a god through practice. It's up to you. I'll come to see you when I'm free. Bulma said helplessly. Sun Weiyuan thought for a moment and said, I recently came up with a training plan. I might take Goku to practice for at least a year. By then, you will most likely not be able to contact me. After leaving Bulma's luxurious villa, Sun Weiyuan remembered that the house on Baizai Mountain was still a small wooden house. He gave some jewels from the pirate treasure to his grandfather and asked him to find someone to build a villa. Besides, it's time to intensify the training. The combat power of little Goku as measured by the combat power light detector has exceeded 10,000, not taking into account the unique aeration skills of Earth martial artists. His actual combat power is definitely much stronger than that of the people in the universe whose combat power values are not much different. And his combat power is only 360,000. If little Goku can transform into a Super Saiyan, his combat power will be 50 times greater and will surpass him by a large margin. Therefore, to be on the safe side, he decided to speed up his cultivation process. Chapter 23. Brother, are you serious? Are you really going to take me to practice again? /o/little Goku was so happy that he almost jumped up. He is the kind of practice maniac who can practice without stopping for a moment. The old gravity room has been improving his strength very slowly, and he doesn't know when the new gravity room will be ready. He is worried about how to practice next. Yes, I know a place where we might be able to try. I'm not sure if it will work. Goku, prepare what you need. I'll be waiting for you at the Temple of Heaven. After saying that, Sun Weiyuan appeared in the Temple of Heaven and saw the black Uncle Bobo, still with that expressionless face. Sun Weiyuan, are you here in the Temple of Heaven to look for the heavenly god? Yes, please Mr. Popo, I want to meet the god, I have something important to tell him. Wait a moment, I'll go ask the gods for advice. No need, Bobo. The god came out and looked at Sun Weiyuan, thinking that his strength was becoming more and more unfathomable. It was hard to imagine that someone could become so powerful. Hello, long time no see, god. Sun Weiyuan greeted with a smile. Weiyuan, what do you want to see me about? It's like this, god, have you heard of King Kai? Sun Weiyuan said this out of the blue. The god's already green face seemed to turn even greener, and sweat began to come out of his head. Sun Weiyuan didn't quite understand the god's feelings. Wasn't it just the name of your boss that was mentioned? Was it necessary to be so nervous and scared? I am far worse than my peers in my previous life. We are the ones who would fire our boss as soon as we are unhappy. We would quit our job if we are unhappy about it. We would occasionally take a break and not give our superiors the chance to exploit us. God, you need to hone your state of mind more. Weiyuan, where did you hear about Lord Kai? The god asked after finally calming down. Sun Weiyuan frowned and said seriously, if I tell you that I dreamed of the gods, would you believe me? God, I don't believe you at all. You are so smart even at such a young age. I don't understand how you can ride the somersault cloud without falling down. If I hadn't paid attention to your behavior, I would have believed that you are a child with a pure mind like Goku. I dreamed again. Tell me what you dreamed about this time. I dreamed that the earth exploded with a bang and turned into dust in the universe. The god's mentality almost collapsed. Can you say anything more outrageous? The earth is so big, can you make it explode just like that? But based on Sun Weiyuan's previous dream about Piccolo Daimao, perhaps he really has the ability to predict some fragments of the past and future. Weiyuan, please tell me in detail. It's like this. I dreamed that when I grew up, Goku and I met an irresistible enemy. Sun Weiyuan spoke nonsense, and the key point was that his words made sense. Even the gods, who had a mentality as stable as an old dog, were shaken by what he said. The god's mentality is actually still okay, it's just that the safety of the earth occupies too much space in his heart, and he is too concerned about it. So, I want to go to Lord Kai with Goku to train and improve my strength as much as possible. Do you think that's okay? At this time, the excited little Goku also arrived at the Temple of Heaven, and the first thing he asked was where to go to practice. Sun Weiyuan was waiting for the reply from the god, because he remembered that the god could appear in front of King Yama alive, and could also bring the original Goku back to Earth after completing his training with King Kai. Logically speaking, the gods can take him and Goku to the King of Hell, instead of having to wait until they die. If that is the case, he might as well make a wish to Shenron to send him and Goku directly to the King Kai planet. The god considered for a long time and weighed the pros and cons before reluctantly agreeing to Sun Weiyuan's request. Then Sun Weiyuan didn't know what the gods did, but in the blink of an eye, the three of them disappeared from the Temple of the Gods and appeared in the Temple of Yama. The huge Yama King, who looked a bit like Shishi's father Ox King, asked, "Earth God, why are you here?" He saw Sun Weiyuan and little Goku behind the god again. "Earth God, why are you bringing two living people into the underworld?" Then the gods and King Yama explained. King Yama said, "It's not easy to run the snake path to King Kai's planet. The snake path to King Kai's planet is over there." The god bowed and thanked him, then took Sun Goiwan and little Goku to the snake road and went back. Looking at the endless snake path, little Goku said, "It seems very far away." "It's not very far. With your strength, you can reach King Kai Star in less than a day if you fly at full speed. That's quite far. What if Big Brother gets hungry along the way?" Little Goku was most worried about the problem of being hungry. "Don't worry, I've prepared everything. Here, this senzu bean is for you. Eat it to replenish your energy when you're hungry on the road. Goku, you must remember, you must not fall under the snake path, otherwise Big Brother will not be able to save you. Under the snake path is hell, a place where bad guys are imprisoned after death. There is one more thing, there is a snake god in the middle of the snake path. Run to the end of the snake path and jump down to reach King Kai's planet. Do you remember?" Little Goku nodded seriously, "Yes, I understand. Big Brother, you are going to leave me alone again and go to King Kai's planet to train first. Big Brother, you are so cunning. Gao Fei, this kid is not obedient at all. He knows what his elder brother is planning and still wants to say it out loud. Goku, running the snake path is also a form of training. It is said that King Yama is the only person in 100 million years who has completed the snake path. Don't slack off. Is that so? How did you know that, brother? I dreamed about it. I'm leaving first, Goku. See you on King Kai." After saying that, Sun Weiyuan burst out with all his strength and flew along the snake path. When passing by the residence of the god of the snake path, Snake Princess, he hesitated whether to go in. After all, as long as he gets in, he can spend the night with the snake girl who has an amazing figure and face, without having to pay or take any responsibility. The key is that the other party is a god, which is exciting just to think about. Forget it. I find her skin color a little hard to accept. What a pity. If it was Bulma's smooth and white skin, then there would be no need to think about it. I would be lucky if I went there. In fact, he remembered that the snake goddess was a big and long giant snake. Hiss, you thought it was a dingai stick, but in the end it was just looking for a needle in a haystack. Only a man of the size of King Yama could withstand it. You are not Su Xian. He shouted in his heart, "Don't worry, Bulma and number 18, I belong to you body and mind." Sun Weiyuan flew over with regret. The snake path was covered with golden clouds. It looked very similar to the somersault cloud. It was very beautiful in its golden color. Unfortunately, if he really tried to ride on it, he might be dragged to hell. After flying for about an hour, Sun Weiyuan saw the tail of the snake. Standing on the tail, he could see a small yellow-green planet. Sun Weiyuan knew that was King Kai, Kaioken, and the most important spirit bomb. Here I come. Chapter 24. Hello. Is Lord Kai here? Sun Goiwan asked Bobris, King Kai's pet gorilla. Young man, what do you want to talk to me about? A fat, short King Kai with two antennas on his head appeared in Sun Weiyuan's sight. Hello. Lord King Kai, I am a martial artist from Earth. I asked the gods for help to have the opportunity to cross the snake path and come to King Kai to practice with you. Earth? When did a strong man like you appear on that small planet with low combat effectiveness? Wait a moment. Sun Weiyuan watched the two antennas on King Kai's head move a few times. I roughly know what happened. I never thought that after just a few hundred years of not paying attention, an excellent martial artist like you would appear on Earth. The bloodline of Earthlings is very poor in the universe, but you can still achieve the current results without any special bloodline. It can be seen that your martial arts talent is very outstanding. There is really a great possibility that you can learn my unique skills. According to the rules, you can practice with me, but you have to pass my test. If you can tell jokes to make me laugh, you can stay here to practice. Well, after saying so much, I thought King Kai would directly agree to teach him how to practice. He still has to tell jokes. However, King Kai has a very low sense of humor, so it is not difficult for Sun Goiwan. Lord Kai, listen carefully, I am about to begin. A classmate asked Xiao Ming, who is better to you, your father or your mother? Xiao Ming replied, they are all very nice to me. The classmate asked again, if they quarrel, which side will you stand on? Xiao Ming, I'll stand next to you. King Kai was stunned for a moment, then said, ha ha ha. I'll stand next to you, ha ha ha. He held his stomach with both hands and laughed so hard that he lay on the grass and patted the ground to continue laughing. Sun Weiyuan had prepared several funny jokes, but he didn't expect that King Kai's sense of humor was so low that he didn't feel anything at all, and King Kai fell down laughing. You have passed my test and can practice with me. King Kai was secretly happy, maybe this guy can really learn my Kaioken and Spirit Bomb. Especially the Spirit Bomb. Although it was invented by him, even he himself cannot fully master it. It is too powerful and cannot be used lightly. Little Goku remembered what Sun Goiwan told him, and arrived at King Kai's planet very smoothly. King Kai thought, is this Sun Weiyuan's brother? Why is he the scion, the brutal warrior race? But he seems to be different from other scions, and his heart is very pure. He is also a kid who has the hope of mastering the Spirit Bomb. Is it that my Spirit Bomb and Kaioken are destined to flourish? Ha ha ha. Sun Weiyuan, oh my god, that joke I told was so powerful. The after effects haven't ended yet. Brother, who is he? Little Goku asked after looking at King Kai, who was grinning for no apparent reason. He is Lord Kai. Next we are going to practice with him and learn some powerful moves. Sun Goiwan leaned close to Goku's ear and said, here is this joke book for you. When Lord Kai asks you to tell a joke, just read it. Only if you make Lord Kai laugh can you practice with him. Little Goku said confusedly, but isn't he always smiling? There was nothing unexpected. Goku made Lord Kai laugh by reading from the book, so he could stay and practice with Lord Kai. However, since Goku's fighting ability is not as high as Sun Goiwan's, and King Kai also needs to teach Sun Goiwan to practice first, he gave little Goku a piece of gravity equipment. First, there is 3 times the gravity, which is calculated based on the gravity of King Kai. King Kai is only 1/10 the size of the Earth, but its gravity is 10 times that of the Earth. 3 times the gravity of King Kai is 30 times the gravity of the Earth when converted into it. But for little Goku, who has been trained in 50 times gravity, 30 times gravity is not enough. King Kai was also a little surprised, and then continued to apply gravity to Goku. When it reached 6 times the gravity of King Kai's planet, little Goku began to feel the strain and his movements were affected. Finally, the gravity increased to 7 times that of King Kai's planet, and it became difficult for Goku's brothers to move. Only then did they let Goku complete his first training mission, to catch Babras. King Kai did not teach Sun Weiyuan Kaioken and Spirit Bomb right away, but first taught him a lot of basic exercises and trained his body. Sun Goiwan's physical fitness is very good after being strengthened by his vitality, but that's not the case with little Goku, who was honed bit by bit through training in the gravity room, and is somewhat inferior to Goku in terms of control over his body. When his physical training was almost complete, Goku began his next training mission, hitting Gregory with his hammer. Your control over your body has almost improved. Now I will start teaching you Kaioken. First, you must control the energy in your body, and then control the energy in your body to make it multiply. King Kai was surprised at how fast Sun Weiyuan learned Kaioken, and then he warned him seriously, Weiyuan, you must remember, never use Kaioken more than 3 times, otherwise your body will collapse. P.S. since we don't know how much combat power is increased by one Kaioken, we set it to only improve the control of Chi, without increasing the combat power value. During the time of training on King Kai Star, his combat power increased to 400,000. With a senzu bean in his mouth, Sun Weiyuan shouted and used double Kaioken, with a combat power of 800,000. Then he forcibly used the quadruple Kaioken again, with a combat power of 1.6 million. King Kai hurriedly shouted, "Stop it now, your body will collapse." And Sun Weiyuan indeed felt unbearable pain all over his body, and the moment he exited the Kaioken state, his body collapsed directly to the ground. Hiss, the pain in his body became more intense, and he swallowed the senzu beans in his mouth with difficulty. King Kai said angrily, "Didn't I just warn you not to use more than 3 times the Kaioken?" The next second, Sun Weiyuan was fully revived. King Kai was stunned, then he touched and patted him here and there, and said, "He's okay?" "Impossible." Sun Weiyuan took out a magic bean and explained. King Kai said, "I didn't expect there was such a good thing on earth, but Weiyuan, you are still too reckless." A strong slap landed on the back of Sun Weiyuan's head, causing him to grimace in pain. This was not a random move at all. I was well prepared. Goku in the original work was really reckless. He got himself covered in bruises in a matter of minutes and fell to the ground without even the strength to raise his hands. However, Kaioken was truly brought to prominence in Goku's hands. King Kai estimated that 3 times Kaioken was the limit, but Son Goku used 20 times when fighting Frieza on Namek. "Brother, was that Kaioken you just used? That's amazing. I want to learn this." Chapter 25. Sun Goiwan did not answer Goku's words. After all, it was King Kai who was going to teach Goku how to train, not him. "Goku, can you hit Gregory with your hammer?" Son Goku shook his head, "Not yet, it's too fast, I need to be even stronger." "Goiwan, it seems that you have fully mastered Kaioken. You can practice my next special move, Spirit Bomb," King Kai said excitedly. Not to mention King Kai was excited, Sun Weiyuan was also very excited. The biggest purpose of his trip was to learn King Kai's unique skill. Yuan Qi was the foundation of his becoming stronger. Although Kaioken is also good, the practice method of Spirit Bomb is more important. Kaioken is equivalent to martial arts moves, and the practice of Spirit Bomb has its own way to enhance strength. As the saying goes, practicing martial arts without practicing skills is useless. Wu is the moves, and Gong is the strength. Moves without strength are no different from beautiful flower racks. King Kai is still waiting for Sun Weiyuan to ask him what the Spirit Bomb is. It feels like he has been waiting for a long time. "Goiwan, it seems that you are no longer interested in Spirit Bomb. In fact, it is just the time when ordinary people pause when speaking." Is Sun Weiyuan still waiting for King Kai to say the next word? Wow, who knew King Kai was so impatient? He came here just for this, how could he not be interested? "Kai-sama, what is a Spirit Bomb?" King Kai said proudly, "Spirit Bomb is a powerful trick I created. It can gather the energy of flowers, trees, humans, animals, and even the atmosphere to create a white energy sphere. It has no lethality to people with justice in their hearts, but the stronger the opponent's evil heart, the more powerful the Spirit Bomb will be." Son Goku listened carefully to King Kai's detailed explanation of Spirit Bomb. King Kai spoke for a long time before he finished. At the end, he added, "The conditions for practicing Spirit Bomb are also very harsh. Only people with pure hearts can practice it. Even I haven't been able to fully master Spirit Bomb. As for whether you and Son Goku can practice it, I can't be sure. I can only say that there is hope. Don't lose confidence because of difficulties. What are you doing? Let's follow the method you said, Lord Kai, and see if we can gather the vital energy and then condense a Spirit Bomb." Sun Weiyuan said seriously. "Weiyuan, cultivation requires one to take one step at a time. You must be down to earth and not aim too high. I just said that even if you are gifted, it is impossible for you to condense a Spirit Bomb so quickly." But at this time, Sun Weiyuan was not listening to what King Kai said at all. His whole mind was immersed in communication and gathering vitality. Less than half an hour later, Sun Weiyuan suddenly said, "Here they come." A question mark popped up in King Kai's mind, what's coming? Then he was so shocked that he was speechless, and he also felt the vital energy converging towards Sun Weiyuan from all directions. What's more, he was the creator of this unique skill, so how could he not feel so much vital energy gathering together? Impossible. No matter how talented you are, it's impossible for you to learn Spirit Bomb just by listening to me once. What kind of monster did I teach? King Kai's whole body was shaking. It was unclear whether it was because he was too shocked or because he was too excited that his secret weapon had a successor. Yes, that's it. Then slowly try to condense the gathered energy in your palm. King Kai was so excited, as if it was him instead of Sun Weiyuan who was learning how to condense the spirit bomb. Sun Weiyuan heard King Kai's words and corrected some minor flaws in the details, successfully condensing a white energy ball with a diameter of about half a meter. Weiyuan, you're amazing. I didn't expect that you could condense a spirit bomb on your first try. You're simply a genius, ha ha ha. King Kai jumped for joy, not showing any of the calmness and composure that a god in charge of the North Galaxy should have. Although Sun Weiyuan was as happy as King Kai, he still looked calm and said, "This is just a routine operation. Lord Kai, please stay calm." Bang! Weiyuan, why are you pretending? If you are happy, you should laugh. Trying hard to suppress your emotions is not necessarily a good thing. Yes, 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 you are worthy of being called Lord Kai. I still have a lot to learn from you about the cultivation of the state of mind. Ha ha ha, take out something to celebrate. King Kai stretched out his hand to Sun Weiyuan. What? Hurry up and give me that book of 100,000 bad jokes that you treasure, and also the spicy noodles you made. I want to read 100,000 bad jokes while eating them. I don't know why, but one time when King Kai saw little Goku eating spicy noodles, he wanted to have one and took a bite, and then he couldn't stop. There were not many spicy strips made of dinosaur tendons in Sun Weiyuan's universal capsules. Lord Kai, it's easy to choke if you eat while reading 100,000 bad jokes, and it's not good for your health. I am the supreme god in charge of the entire northern galaxy. It is impossible for me to be unhealthy as you said. It's just that I choke occasionally. It's not a big deal. King Kai said nonchalantly. Sun Weiyuan searched around and took out a bag of spicy strips from the universal capsule. King Kai's eyes lit up. Then Sun Weiyuan carefully picked out the shortest spicy strip and put it on King Kai's chubby hand with great pain. King Kai stiffened. Weiyuan, do you know that your grandfather is so stingy? Sun Weiyuan said seriously, he probably doesn't know. In my grandfather's eyes, I am very generous. One is too few, at least 10 should be enough. After all, I have taught you all my best tricks. King Kai tried his best to gain greater benefits for himself. No, 2, 1 for each move. 9 spicy strips, no less. 1 price for 4 spicy strips. Then 8, 1 trick is 4 spicy strips. Ha ha ha, give it to you, all the spicy strips are mine. King Kai grabbed the whole bag of spicy strips, turned around and ran back to the house and closed the door. Sun Weiyuan symbolically chased after him, knocked on the door, and then went to practice. It's like this every time and they never get tired of it. Can't King Kai be a little more classy? For example, when the spicy strips are served to you, you have to invite them several times before they reluctantly give you the face to take a bite. Only then would it be a little more classy. Think about how King Kai always tells jokes to his pet gorilla Bobris and counts the number of blades of grass on King Kai's planet. Sun Goiwan has no idea how boring King Kai is, Omega. When he was condensing the spirit bomb just now, some wonderful changes seemed to have occurred in Sun Weiyuan's body. He was sure that it was feasible to use the spirit bomb practice method to speed up the body's absorption of vital energy, and thus speed up the improvement of combat effectiveness. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.